Emilio, the Honey Badger Urrutia!
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honey Badger Hour. We're live.
We're live in the 305.
Oh, man,
That's how I feel
PJ.
all the time, man. Cheers, bro.
Welcome to the Honey Badger Hour. Thanks for coming, my brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me.
I've been seeing you back at it. You've been grinding all week.
I'm back at it, trying to grind, trying to get back in the stand-up game.
You're hitting mad mics, huh?
Yeah, hitting my mics, getting on some shows. So it feels good, trying to get back to the process, you know. I feel like that, you know, that's the hardest part of comedy is you always have to reset and have new jokes and take the L's, the same L's. It never stops. Some people think it stops. You get your hot 10 and then you got to make a new hot 10 or a new hot 30 or a new hour. You always got to make something new. So.
Oh man, and you gotta, you can't get comfortable because like you take a week and then you're like, you're gonna bomb. You know, any day now a big bomb's coming. You're just about to eat it.
You can't even think about bombs or celebrations. You have to constantly just keep going forward. Even if you're in pain, you gotta just be like, bomb, celebration, yeah. And when I'm at my best, it's when wins or losses don't matter. It's just like, okay, you did your thing. Okay, that was normal. Okay. You also got to think some people do the same set for 19 years.
Yo. Yeah, bro. So why the fuck are we changing the game after fucking 5 minutes and 6 months? You know, I'm like...
So that's another way to think of it, too. Because, like, people really do work on their set. Like, if you love your set, you know, you could keep it. You could work on it and tighten it, you know. But I think some people have this idea of throwing it away. Yeah, you have to change it, but there's different philosophies. I feel like with stand-up, you can't really pin yourself down. You have your own philosophy. There's no rules. No one can tell you what to do.
That's what I love about it. There's no wrong way to go about it, right?
No wrong way to go about it, man.
That's so true. Yo, when I first started training MMA and martial arts and stuff, I was just like, you gotta just listen to your coach. I was like very close-minded about training. I was like, it was good though. It worked in my benefit, right? Because I was like militant. And I was just like a blind soldier. I'm like, yo, coach, just tell me what to do, and I'm gonna do it. I didn't even question nothing. Like I didn't even worry why. You know what I mean? And then that helped me get me far. But now I'm realizing a lot of things that I thought I knew, I didn't know shit back then. And if I would have opened my mind a little more, I probably could have got a lot farther. So now coming into the creative aspect in comedy, I'm like, all right, like my eyes are wide open, like super vulnerable and open for anything or changes, you know? Like there's no blueprint in this I could see.
Yeah, there's definitely no blueprint. You know, when I started, it's like you have the older comics that are they're like, well, you got to make it through the club. And then, but they don't see the IGs. They don't see the TikTok, you know, and they're holding on to something. And it's like, if you let that be their master or, you know, the people that, you know, they're going to hold you back, you know? So it's like everything's changing. You have to be aware, like you got to respect the people before you, but you also have to do your own thing at the end of the day. Because it's like, if you don't take the opportunities that are in front of you, you kind of, you're going to miss out. So I'm at that level. I'm at that point. I feel like I was definitely like, no, stand-up, it's the best, you know? It's the awesome, the best art form. But now I'm like, man, I should definitely take up more opportunities to do some like IGs. Like, you know, I love doing dumb shit during the day anyways. I'm constantly doing dumb shit, you know? So I don't know why I'm not posting it all the time. But yeah.
Like making content, you know what I mean?
Making content, not dumb shit.
Jokes, making comedy all the time, dog. Yeah. But yo, people love dumb shit, you know? Like sometimes you think you got some masterpiece and you be like, what people like is like the most simplest.
Yeah, the simplest shit that you were like, you know, making noises and stuff in your car or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. This shit, stand up, bro.
It's a ruthless one. It's fun. How long you been doing stand-up for now?
It's been like 10 years.
Woo! You got a decade in.
I got a decade in.
Oh, snap. You got your black belt. And you feel like you're a black belt in stand-up? Or it's been like a time? In jiu-jitsu, it takes about 10 years to get a black belt.
10 years?
That's quick. It's pretty quick.
Well, I say I'm a black belt. I think I'll get in there. You know what's nice about it is there's no time frame when people get nice. Like, when people get really good at it, you never know when it's gonna happen. Sometimes people you never know, and you never know who. Some of this they get nice, whatever. There's been on the grind, writing, and then they figure out what works with the crowd, whatever, and it just culminates. So it's so cool to see people that I'm like, I've watched and they've been doing it for a decade or like maybe even more, like 15 years, and then they're finally, it's like everything's just coming together. Like something in their life or their rage, like they're just able to come out and be themselves on stage. And I don't know where the connection is, but when I see it, I'm always like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you wanted to do, So for me, it's like I feel like I could make a set. I could be funny, but I'm not saying what I want to say. So that's why it's a lot of times I'm like, the open mics is not. There's something about me in life. I think with comedy, I grew up while I was doing comedy. So it's like you see a lot of you see a lot of younger. So you probably grew up while you were fighting and doing UFC, right? Like that was your growing up. Where you were like, or maybe you grew up before, but like I'm just saying that was like you learned life through. I learned life doing stand up, and so it's like now I'm like a fool. So it's like now I'm like there's certain things I'm like, yo, I gotta take this. I gotta be me. Like it's not. It's the time to take this on another. So that's how I'm feeling.
Yo, that's what it is, dog. Yeah, you're so, like, being able to, and you don't know how long it's going to take when you can be yourself on stage. Because I think that's what we're all trying to, that's so funny, I tell people now, like, or you were saying with the fighting stuff, like, it's funny. I used to tell people, like, I've always been, like, a character and a clown and funny, and then I kind of got good at fighting, like, luckily, because I'm too stupid to quit, I guess, or something, you know what I mean? But, like, I've always been kind of like the class clown, and, like, that's how even people like me in the gym, just because I always make people laugh, A lot of my teammates, they'll just bring me to corner them, because I'm just, like, a good hang and a good, you know what I mean, for the weekend and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dog, being comfortable on stage, that is the hard part, right? It's like sometimes I'm on stage and I'm like, yo, I swear, guys, like, I mean, they're probably thinking, what made this guy think to go on? Some days you go up there and just like, people be like, what made this guy think to do this,
Yo, yeah.
It's so uncomfortable. It's like, fuck.
Humility's a part of the game, bro. I've been asked off stage. I've definitely been kicked off stage, roasted after I bonded from my family. I've definitely been kicked off, and then people do a 10-minute set just roasting me afterwards. I've definitely asked girls to go to shows and they leave like halfway through my set, and I'm watching them leave, bro. Like, and I'm not even mad at them. I'm like, yo, yeah, I just. I'm like, yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. I don't know why I'm saying this out loud in the first place, but you right. Yeah, you right. You beautiful. You too beautiful to be here right now.
And some open mic with like some 5 open micers who, speaking of aliens, might be aliens.
Definitely, bro. So, a lot of humility, man. I mean, I did a lot. That was my first. I think my first 3 to 5 years was like go up as much as possible. So for me, that was like just to get used to like not thinking about bombing or just go and do what you got to do, and then because you still have to, But it took me a while because in Miami when I started, it was only like it was like maybe 2 mics and 5 shows, and they were all monthly.
So you started about 10 years ago in Miami. So this is like before, like.
Damn. Okay, yeah, 10.
That's
10
no
years.
joke. Oh man, and then what was the scene like back then? I've had Oriel and Chris. So they told me a little bit like 6-7 years, but that's the longest.
Yeah,
I've heard, yo.
I was a part of I feel like I was a part of the depression. There was like the comedy club. There was no comedy club.
I heard about this.
And there was just like bar shows. So. Yeah, it was. We had this open mic called the Artistic Vibes. It's by by the spot you have. It's like literally across the street, and they had like an open mic. And then I'd go every week. And I'll only go once a week. And every time I go, I'd be nervous, like, oh my god, sweating, like running, like, oh my god, like I'm gonna vomit, like And then I'd do that, and then someone showed me another. Manny had a mic that you could throw tomatoes at. It was like an open mic. And then the audience could throw plastic tomatoes that he had branded. But I think he was one of the first people to do it. Yeah. Like, people have done it all over the city, so it's not a new concept. But 10 years ago, he was the first one. It was a pretty fun mic. So that was our second mic. And it was kind of cool. You just like bombing and people throwing tomatoes at you and you kind of dodging them. So a lot of us, it was raw. There was a few, and then Daniel, like people had showcases that were cool. At the time, I think they were really popping because it was like, I think it was like the hipster movement, like it wasn't like hipster, but it was just like, let's be raw and open to like freedom of speech and comedy. And like, so it was like kind of like an alt show. You had it in a record store. And it was like dope. So we had like shows like that, like at bars. So
like Kava bar type vibes.
Yeah, we had a few Kava bar shows. So then it built. We didn't have a comedy club, but we tried to have a comedy, and they kept shutting it down. And then like and then like more people started producing shows, and then you could kind of get up like every night once
That's
or
good.
twice.
In Miami.
Yeah, at that
that's big.
time.
That's all right. That's all right. Right.
But
Once
that was like that took like 3 to 4 years, because I would produce and I would host a lot of shows, and then Manny started his Miami comedy at the same time, and then Yuval had his comedy, so I was working with Yuval, and then it would be all of us having shows.
Oh yeah.
But there wasn't that many mics. But then
like showcases.
there wasn't showcases, and then you had Taurus. Taurus was a big moment. So Taurus was a big moment because I was still new at comedy at Taurus, and like everybody, I remember I was the only one at the mic because it was just like everyone did the showcase.
Yeah.
Because the scene was so small, it's probably like 8 or 10 comics, and they wouldn't go up every night. They were like older, so they would be the one to do the showcase, and then I was like the first two, and I remember like. Freddie used to run
Freddie Stebbins, right? I gotta get him on here, yo. That's what's up.
Yeah. So he was like he put us on last, and he was like, yo, y'all were like really funny, and then he put us up on the showcase, and then what really helped me branch out was one day people would come in, like sometimes big names would come in, not big names, but like people who are touring would come in, and I remember like most people were like not doing well, and I had a good set. And the dude came up to me. He's like, "Do you tour? Are you like a touring comedian?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And because I'm as a Miami comedian, like people don't realize like we don't have that much exposure to touring or the concept. So I remember Evelyn had to pull me aside. Was like, "Yo, like he's asking to give you a spot. Like he wants to know if you tour, and like just say yes, and like just make some money and like go." Stop being an idiot. And I was like, oh, he wants me to perform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was able to go to Denver, and like he got me a few like paid gigs. So I was able to do that. And then I was like, oh shit, like they really fucked with me in Denver. And like in Miami, I was like 50-50. Even if I did my good set, it was like 50-60%. But like in Denver, it was like, yeah. So it was one of those like, oh yeah, like people like me in other places. Like Miami's cool, but it doesn't have the comedy scene. So it's like, it was a good feeling, and it was like, okay. So that's when I was like, oh, maybe New York, because I would see New York people when I would go to like Denver every 3 months, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm like right there with them, like.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I was competitive, it felt good. So I went there, I messed it up, and like everybody was just like, I was making contacts, so it was cool with it, and it's cool to do that like in cities. So.
How long in did you like see? How long in was it when you got invited to go to Denver and start doing like some
like 2 to 3 years? 2 to 3 years.
Nice. All right, so that's like right at that. Yeah, and being at Taurus and he saw you and the guys are having hard sets, but then you can build some little bit of thick skin, right?
Yeah.
Is Taurus always the same vibe,
Taurus is people
crazy.
Actually listen to Taurus, because back in the day you had to scream almost like, because that's how I get in the zone with Taurus, is that I talk very slowly, very loudly, so that slowly, like if a few people laugh, it keeps building. It's like you keep hitting the combo, right? It's like you keep hitting the combo. By the end of the set, if everyone's laughing, then you had like a flawless victory. Like
you build it up.
Yeah, you build it up. Because like one person hears a joke, ha ha ha, and then the people like in the back are like, what? There's somebody ha 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 ha, and then like, but that would take me time. That would mean I'd have to do the joke consistently, and then like tweak it or know how to say it, and then like to the point where I could like stand there, scream it slowly. So they could hear it, and then so I was comfortable. I had trained myself to survive in Taurus like subconsciously, so because that was my spot. I love doing Taurus. So Taurus is the spot. Yeah, Taurus is. Right now Taurus people actually they listen.
Right now it's all right.
I feel like the comedy fans they listen. I'm not saying they're great here, but they actually do. Kind of like sit quiet, and they're like they're intrigued by live comedy.
Yeah, there's some spots here. This is what I'm saying. Like there's I think it's getting all right here. Compared to what I see from people's videos and stuff from like New York right now, like some of the open mics, like some of the regular shows we do, our mics have few people, or we do have mics for like people because they're bar shows and there's always people there regardless, I guess.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're down. Like we got some good right now. Thank You Miami's a pretty good spot. They're like real quiet.
Thank you.
They listen there. Everybody's there for comedy.
Thank You Miami's great. Miami's a great training ground. I think the audiences are great. I translated great all over. Like when I go to other places, I translate great. That's why I tell people when they're like, "Yo, what should I do?" or "I want to go this." I was like, "You don't have to go to New York. Just go travel. You're a comedian. You have to. You're yourself. You know, like a conqueror's got to travel and learn and grow and take L's in different cities and build yourself and come back and then go back at it again. You know, like, and it's not that much. You know, if you want to go to Orlando, just 3 of your friends could go to Orlando." And give $50 and come back and make connections.
And shoot a text message to a few shows up there. Somebody's going to say, yeah, come do 10 minutes.
Yeah, so, you know, and then you develop the rapport with them, you know, or just do mics. Just meet comics there. Learn about other scenes. Learn how the scene... Most scenes are like the same. Some scenes are really dope, man. So when you go to different places, you like, oh, they really added, like, they're really cool-ass people, and they really love stand-up. So it's just like you got to put yourself out there and make those connections, because there's some cool scenes, and they happen at different times. Because everyone goes to New York and destroys the scene, so that it happens everyone just like, oh, I got to go to New York. So, yeah, that's it. But New York is good because when you go there, it's like the NFL Combine. You
that's
know,
what
it's
I'm
like
saying, dog. You could be like Mark Norman might walk in, or Shane. You know, there's gonna be the big dogs.
They walk all the time. Yeah,
they're just there chilling. They live there, yo.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. And it's also like, let's say like people like you are coming from other cities, and they're like, yo, you know, we're big time too. Yeah, where you from? Yo, I'm Detroit. You know, and so many cool people come, and the same. There's like classes, like rookie classes for New York, and they're like, oh, who's gonna pop from this class?
Yeah, you have like a group of guys, you know.
Yeah, and you're looking at each other hard, like, yeah, at the mic's like, yeah, who's gonna write the better joke? It's like, yeah. So I guess it's cool to see that intensity, and it's like definitely there. It's very cutthroat, but it's definitely cool to see other scenes, because there's scenes all over that secretly are hilarious. Miami's definitely. Yeah, Miami does. We hold it down. Yeah, we have a thing. I think a lot of us. I think we're professional, but we're funny. We're not. I feel like people are getting more professional.
Yeah.
Down here. I wasn't professional, but.
What do you mean by professional? Like.
I don't know. I don't know how to say.
Like crowd work? You mean like professional, like joke?
No. I just mean like we have fun. You know, we live our best life.
Yeah, for sure. Dog. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not coming in with a suit like.
No. Yeah.
We having fun. You know, we getting drinks. You know, you know, we living our lives.
Yeah, we have a good squad. Do we have it? Sorry, a little choop choop.
I know. I don't know what happened. But
hey, no,
yeah,
100%.
man.
And we have fun, dog. We have a good little crew right now. The hangs are all right now.
Yeah, it's good, man. Y'all, you know, coming back. I see y'all. I see people like starting to bubble, like as far as the jokes. So it's like everyone is good. Everyone pushes each other and they write. And
so how long you been back for? Right, I'm trying. Right.
I've been back for 6 months. I've been low key, but like no, like I guess no. I've been. I would say 4 months.
So
but nobody
visiting. The first time I met you were just visiting from New York, right? You were just doing some sets in Miami.
I'm gonna be blunt. Yeah, I'm back. I was just being low key. Yeah. Because people didn't know. They're like, oh, did Paul leave? Or so people are making a. Well, I was thinking about going back, so I was just in between, and then I came back. So people were like, you know, but I was just more like I didn't want to hear the people be like, yo, you failed. You know, you came out of New York.
When did you leave? How long were you in New York for?
I was in New York for like 6 years.
Just doing comedy, writing every day, hitting sets. You can do mics in New York. Like you were hitting like 30 mics, like that crazy amount. 30
mics? Yo. I mean, I was hitting like 2 a day.
Yeah.
At a certain point, but at a certain point, I was like, life was like, nah, bro, like 2, you know, but I was still going up, getting up regularly. But like for me, I hit a point where I was like, for me to go up every night, it wasn't ideal for my mental, like for the comedy, because it was also like I had seen people get burnt out and then lose their minds. I see people literally lose their minds, like they start screaming because you're doing 30 mics. And like, let's say you're not going to work, you're pretty much on the most minimal lifestyle, and you're doing 5 mics a day from 4 p.m. to midnight, and you're doing it every day, and you're doing like a horrible job. Yeah, I've seen mental health breakdowns. I was like, and they don't do, and then they stop, you know. So you could literally burn yourself out. So I saw that. I was like, I had to be like, okay, that route doesn't look good.
So you saw like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
you saw this like, oh, this could be a future here.
Yeah, it's be a future because you see people that they do well at mics and they're doing it 30 times and people respect them and they're writing really well good jokes, but then they go on stage around normal people and normal people could feel their anger and their rage and their disconnect of being a human being. Because you got to remember that people would think of, first of all, what normal people think is funny is just a normal ass dude that's saying basic shit half the time. You know what I mean? Like, so we have like a slight variation. Like we try to like lift it up. We try to add more of our flavor to it. But like when you're hanging out, like I don't know, I can't. It's just simple shit that makes you fun, like sound effects. You know what I mean? So I don't know, when you disconnect and you're angry and you're like writing these jokes out of anger and you don't like actually making people happy, it kind of the crowd feels it. The crowd feels it. And if you do mics 30 times a day, 30 times a week,
You're getting weathered out. You're getting burnt
And
out.
you're
You see these people and you're just like, these mics.
I've seen people curse out people for 30 minutes and get banned. Like full on anxiety attack meltdowns. This dude, he just started calling everyone this the worst shit. You pussy, this, get out, kick your ass. This to everybody, yo. And I was just laughing. He's like, I'll kick your ass. I was just like, yo, you having a meltdown, bro. Stop, man. Stop. And you got banned. He was my friend too, but I was like, he was my friend at the, but I felt so bad for him. I was like, yeah, you usually get banned, dude. But, a lot of people that do it are just more, I think just, with anything, you got to be methodical. Like if you, I don't know how, training, how your idea of training, or like some moments you're going hard in the paint and somewhere you're just working on technique. So it's like, your process is your process. No one can tell you what your process is. If you feel like you got to do 30 mics a week, that's your process.
I understand exactly. I'll break it down like this. I know exactly what you're saying, and this is what happens when I'm like my first 3 months of comedy. It's crazy, right? Like I haven't done as much comedy as I did like in my first 3 months living in Miami, but I was on. You know how you're crazy, bro. I was driving to Broward. I was like, yo, there's a mic in West Palm Beach. I was driving to West Palm Beach, do 5 minutes, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Going down Broward on the way back, and I got burnt out real quick. And I'm like, oh shit, you gotta be this lifestyle. You gotta be on point, bro. Especially I'm noticing early on. Doing 30 mics is like training for a fight and sparring every night, every day, 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a fight every day.
Exactly,
so exactly what you were saying. Like, yo, if you're training for a fight, maybe you're gonna spar on. I do it by color codes. Like if I have a red day on Monday, I have a green day on Tuesday, where it's like, all right, today is maybe more relaxed, And then if I'm a little bit in the middle, I have an orange day, where orange day be like, yeah, we train, but we're just doing jiu-jitsu rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do no heavy sparring, no head trauma or conditioning. You feel me?
Exactly.
So it's like the same way, and I bet you gotta find the same rhythm in comedy. I feel like that's where you're like.
Yeah,
right? Like,
definitely. You definitely have to, because you
It's a
gotta think
marathon.
smarter. You gotta think smarter, because people think, oh, that 30 mic game, people, you will lose your mind. You will lose your mind. Yeah, I didn't see it. It wasn't like I saw people do 30 mics and then pop it. Like they didn't get a writing job. They didn't get, they didn't make,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
You can get a job writing in New York, huh? Like you can get a like you're doing comedy, like so being like in the scene over there. You can start like that's what they mean by like working, right? Like working comedian. Like a lot of comedians become like writers or for TV shows or
a lot of comedians are
right?
writers of TV shows. Because there's all types of comedy. You got improv actors, you got writers, people who are writing. There's people that go to school for writing. There's like Harvard writers. There's like improv schools that teach sketch. So you could be a sketch writer. So stand up is just a portion of it. I think, and a lot of the smarter comics, that's the thing with the professionalism. This is the point, is that with New York, you learn branding. You learn what you're good at. And then you're able, so a lot of people move in a way that they're trying to get the writing job.
Gotcha.
You got it. Like their stand-up set is about political opinions and voices based on a liberal opinion. So they're like, I want to be the voice. I want to get on the Trevor Noah show. So my jokes are going to be based on this. So when people see it, it's going to be almost a resume for me to be picked up as a late night writer. So that's how people move. They're not necessarily trying to be funny, but they see an opportunity in the fact that if they could write, if they could be a little bit like just funny enough and political and have a good voice, they can get a writing job.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Now the smart comics, they don't like I like the dumb comedy, dog. Not dumb comedy. I like the funny, like you were saying though. But it's funny, right? Like some people like they're there's so many different lanes. I don't feel like I'm like too smart, but like I'm more like, like,
no, I feel you.
Like
I
personality, like charisma or something. I don't know, right? It's weird.
Yeah. You want to be funny. You aim to be funny. You aim to be a normal stand-up comedian. So yes.
Yeah. But you do meet a lot of like smart comedians. You're like, oh, this guy. Like you hear their jokes, you're like, God damn, like okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fine line. I don't know necessarily. Yeah, I don't think
but
smart.
You want to be smart because like look, the best comedians are smart though, like Rock and Chappelle. Like
yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're like, oh, it's like thinking of it so simple that like. Like the ones that you're like, I wish I would have thought about that.
Yeah,
and it's so simple but so
you're
complex, right?
It's that fine line between like there's a perfect technique of just like it's funny, it's silly, and also connects to a wide audience.
Yeah, like able to like penetrate through, like it could be really political but so silly and like funny. We're like, goofy. Oh my god,
That's the cool thing about club comics. It's like you like when I watched a few guys, they just knew how to deliver like goofy, very dark material.
Yes.
That like, because that's the thing is you're dealing with people that don't like they're like ABC very energy, like they don't want to hear, so you have to deliver these dark truths. So you see different people do it. They be like, they do like they're just able to put a silly vehicle behind the darkness, So it's interesting. I feel you on the funny. I think there's definitely parts of that in New York too, like the Stand. I think the Stand likes. Like people who are goofy and like they're like they're pure. Yeah. No, New York has everything. But I would say late night. Most people want late night writing jobs.
That's funny, right? That's funny you say that because like that's true, right? People want to get that. I understand. I would like that. Like I like the comedy, like the just going out, just walling out on stage and just being silly with people, bro. Like energy, you know what I'm saying?
Me too. At the end of the day, when I moved to New York, I was like, nah, I like the silly shit. Like I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe I was trying to do political. Maybe I thought I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this. This is like mad. It's not funny. And I was like, that was how I felt. But there's so many types. Yeah, Mark Norman's there. Like, so they have areas where it's just that's it. Well, there's still stand up is still like that. But if you're trying to get a writing job, you just meet all these people that they're geared themselves to, like, try to get a job. But
I gotta go to New York, dog.
You gotta
check it out. Not go there, like move there, but like we gotta just start going there for like a week. My brother lives out there, so I can like, live
definitely
on
check it.
Couch, dog.
Do it, bro. Do it.
And my old coach lives out there in Long Island, so I can like stay. Like I got places to stay there, so I just need to like just commit, just make a fucking buy the ticket. Dog. That's it,
See it, man, and like check out some shows. Yeah, I used to always go to the Stand at night and watch Frantic. The Frantic. I love Aaron Berg because Aaron Berg used to be at Taurus all the time.
I saw him in I'm working at the Comedy Inn. Oh, I gotta.
Comedy Inn's great, man.
Have you been to the Comedy Inn?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Have you performed at the Comedy Inn yet?
No, not yet.
Yo.
I honestly, I saw my Eric Myers perform there. I don't know. Yeah, he rest in peace, but he was one of the funniest people. But when I saw him, I'm almost like afraid to ask because he killed so hard.
Oh my
He's
God.
like hilarious. He's like the funniest person. But who'd you see?
I worked there. I worked the security there. I'm
nice.
the door guy there right now for like the last 6 months. So I've been seeing the last month. Every time I finish, I feel like I just learned so much. I've been seeing like headliners do 3 shows in a row. Friday and Saturday, 2 shows.
That's dope, man.
I've seen Aaron Berg do 3 shows in a row. And I've seen them. Some of these guys can switch up their hours, bro. It's crazy. And you see the way they dice it and cook it. It's amazing. Aaron Berg. I've seen who did Louis J. Gomez? He came with Aaron Burr, Legion of Skank. They came together, and Kim Condit. That was the 3-piece that they came.
Nice.
The last show was really good. Eddie Pepitone.
Pepitone.
Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, I like him. He's silly as hell.
Fuck, he's silly.
I like him, bro.
Hey yo, he's like a veteran. He don't give. And you know what's funny? As a comedian, I love what he does. He puts his timer on, and he's been doing this shit so long. He tells the people like 42 minutes, and the people don't know what he's talking about. But when I'm working the door, I'm so happy. I'm like, thank God, only 20 minutes. I can go home, dog. In the middle of his set, he just says the time. He'll be like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't get.
That was easy. He's just screaming at the crowd. And you see that? I just did he's telling him I just did 20 minutes and like basically no jokes.
Yeah. He's the best, yo.
The best that I just seen right now is Eddie Griffin
He was at the Comedy Inn.
No, oh man, I'm messing up his name.
Eddie
man.
Griffith.
Oh no.
Not
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm messing up. This is embarrassing. He's been on late night satellite. Eric Griffin. Oh man.
Eric, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Eric, yeah, it's like Griffin. Yeah, it's like Griffith.
Oh, that was the best one I've ever seen. That's the best one I've seen so far. I've seen Gene Harding. I've seen
Gene Harding's great.
Kill it over there. Ricky Cruz. I've seen
Ricky's hilarious. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then but their host is crazy, bro.
David Stebbins.
David Stebbins puts the fear in people, dog, when he goes up there. Because it's what he does is crazy, bro. Like the waves in that place. It's he's got like soundproof walls, 85 rooms. Like that guy's got that shit down.
Yeah, he's
like
insane.
Doctor, bro. He
had that necrophiliac joke. I was like, yo, that shit crazy. He's David. Yeah, I fuck with David. David's hilarious. The stories behind all these comics too. Stand-up's good. The thing I love about stand-up is when I was there and I was really on my grind, it was like the best feeling was like when you had someone that was on TV or had a writer and like you just beat them in real time, That's the thing about stand-up is like the real timeness of it. Like if you do better and like everyone in that crowd's gonna be like, you're the man.
And it's undeniable, dog.
It's undeniable.
It's undeniable when you're funny and you just walk out and like, yo, you might have been funny, but then when everybody's like shakes your hand and shit.
Yeah, it's undeniable,
that's
bro.
Best, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's the best. And then it's a good feeling, even though like they got a job, they're making money. That was my other thing. I was like, maybe this ego trip thing isn't that great. I do want a job. I was like, it's in the middle. They're like, yeah, I don't give an F about this. I write comment. I was like, but it's if you're in love with that it's like the best. That's the best thing because in real time you could turn people to just fans and it's like it's a dope like some of the best comedians are not even they just tour their little Midwestern because it's stand up you have to just do clubs. Like if you want to be a good stand up you work in the clubs and you're doing it. Like I remember this guy Chad Daniels. I don't know if you know him, but he just tours the Midwest, and then sometimes he popped in New York, and I was like, who the hell is this? And he just killed, like he just murdered, and like he has albums out, and he makes his money, but it's just like you can make your money, it's just different. Like you gotta really work. You gotta really go out and get shows and get clubs. Like
to do it, like meaning making money on the road, right? Getting the shows.
Making money on the road. I mean, it's a grind, but people do it, and it's a love of the art. Like I'm saying, there's a lot of comedians that aren't big that are like hilarious. Like that's
what I'm saying. That's what I like about this trade. Yeah. I know what you mean. Like you're not gonna be like you don't got. Bro. I meet so many guys just at tours. Like you're saying, a lot of big names go there. I seen so many hilarious people go through that. You never like working at the comedy club right now. Some of these guys that he has headlining, Eddie Pepitone, Griffin. Never really heard of them. Like comedians know them. But. Like but these guys are some of the
legends,
funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Where I'm like, bro, do they make to ever be that good? It's just mind-boggling to me. Like I think of some of their jokes, and I'm like, yo, how are you ever gonna just make one joke like that and then do an hour of it?
Yeah, I think it's also being put in the pressure scenarios like working clubs. But like, yeah, I started with no clubs, so I did get past at this place called Belushi's Comedy Club in Fort Myers.
Oh, nice.
So a year and a half in, so that helped me. Yeah, there was a time. So I got to work with some people that were like pretty good.
So what does that mean? Like, I hear this a lot. Like, you get passed, right? Because I hear people talking about like in the comedy store. So like, you're working at what were you doing before you got passed? Like open mics there?
They were doing audition. They did an audition.
Oh, dope.
I did an audition. It was like I still didn't have like a 5-minute set, but I did it. I did it, and they were like, "Yo, we really liked you." I was like the first one to go up. It was like a random one, and then they're like, "We really like you," and come through and do some hosting. So I was like, okay, cool. And that was like a great opportunity to like feel the energy, understand what it takes to like be professional host and do all that. And that was good because you do those 5 shows like bam, 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 bam. Like your set gets so tight.
Like in a weekend, right?
When you do like Friday, a weekend, Saturday. Your set gets so tight.
And you're bringing up comics, right? Like as hosting,
you're bringing up comics. You're talking a little to the, you're conversating with the crowd, getting them warmed up, telling them about the drinks, the drink tickets, and then also being able to like promote the headliners, future gigs. So yeah, it's good learning. It was a good lesson because I was just like I was really at zero. So and also doing 5 shows. And doing like 5 shows, they were trying to get me to do like 10 to 15 up top. So it would just be like, it would be really good to just repeat the same jokes. Because it was like nobody, it's also interesting to meet headliners that are like very particular. So you meet some headliners that are like, yeah, you kind of you shouldn't be trying new jokes right now because even though they killed, and I would not do well, but like they'd be like, don't try anything because like this and this, and I remember be like, okay.
Oh,
But
they're
like
giving you forewarning, right? Like
they give you a forewarning because they're like, oh, I normally get 8 applause breaks and I only got 6, so it's your fault. And I'm like, bro, like,
whoa, that's wild. Like,
I'm like, bro, we all did good. Like, you know what I mean? The feature that everyone was happy. It's like, yeah, just don't do that. I was like, just trying to be topical on Valentine's Day and stuff. And they're like, nah, don't do that.
and how did they? But who's telling you this? The headliners are telling you? But they
The
noticed. They
headliners,
noticed
yeah.
that you're switching it. What they noticed that you switched.
They noticed
your
that
set?
like the way I say it, I didn't say it with the same bravado as something that I would say. Because if you say something new, people notice. People notice that, oh, you haven't worked this out. You're not as confident. Like you're pretty much giving us that's like, but when you're doing the 5 sets, yeah. So you meet people that are very particular, very anal,
Yeah.
very unhappy, maybe miserable.
I heard
And then some people are very nice and fun, and they're like, oh, you let me pay you. I'll pay you for your food. Like, come on, So you meet different people. You meet some crazy people.
Fighting, dog. There's a lot of fighters. Like a lot of fighters are cool. I know some champions that are the best, most nicest guys in the world. I know some champs are like, yo, fuck that guy. But you don't need to be nice. It don't take being nice or being like a good person to be good at your craft. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
bet,
saying?
man. That's just wild.
And especially I can only imagine because comedy, like we get a particular group of people, like I noticed at the higher level everybody's pretty chill, but like at my level right now where I'm at, like we're like the open mic scene, we gotta get through a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of character
man.
personalities.
Yeah.
But it's an odd group of people that even makes you like you gotta be a wild person to even want to try this
Yeah.
thing, so
Yeah, bro. It was funny because I would stay. I still go to I'll go to mics and stuff. I host the mics, so there would be points where I had a point where I was like, oh, because I feel like if I re-engage myself with the youth, then I could follow their hustle and like that'll motivate me, I remember I was hanging out and like Dave Chappelle was like trying to go on the show. People were trying to get in the show, but nobody was getting in the show. So it was just kind of like a cool hang in New York. And I just remember the younger kids started slapboxing outside. And I was like, why? Like I was like, nobody, yeah, no, I was
comics?
like, yeah, comics. So I was like, why? I was like, I'm not doing open mic. Like I was like, I gotta chill out. I'm not hanging out with it. I'll chill it. I gotta work on myself. I don't know what's so. But for me, it's I'm like 10. I'm hitting 10 years. So for me, it's like I gotta think a little. I gotta think more strategic because I'm like, okay, I put in the work. So it's like, but I definitely agree that when you're first starting, you got to go hard in the paint to get over like the bombing, the bombing feeling, or you got to not to get you to develop the thick skin of just being like, F all y'all, I don't care. But I used to be, yeah.
I noticed that I have more respect now the more I do it, and when I can see people bomb like gracefully, right? Like when I see, I was like, oh, this guy's a vet when he can just bomb, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen somebody one time who's like, you see this stance right here? This is what you do when you're bombing right now. And somebody said, I was like, it made me laugh so hard that I was like, like where you could just be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be, but you're just so used, it's just the reps, right? It's like you just know that.
Yeah, the reps. Get the reps in so you feel like, yo, I'm good, But yeah, get the reps in. Because you got to get out there. So yeah.
I still get nervous, which is weird. I don't know.
I think it's good.
I guess it's good because you care.
You care, yeah.
And then sometimes I feel like some people judge you, like, oh, look at this fucking guy getting nervous, where it's like, damn, but
no, get nervous. You should get nervous.
Guy,
It translates well when you get nervous. Yeah, it's good. I get nervous still. I get nervous. Yeah.
It's the poison for me.
I get sleepy.
Drinking is bad. I don't know. I feel like I can't, especially at my stage. Maybe at my stage too, because I'm trying to remember my jokes a lot of times. And after 2 beers, it's like that shit goes way like.
Oh, for real?
I
Okay.
don't know, my CTE kicks in or what, dog. But after I can do 1 beer for the eye candy, and then after my set, that's when it's all hell breaks loose. That's when I'm like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you.
But dog, the comedy life is you gotta be on point and like slick. Where like just little things like you're saying, like mental health, physical health, you know, because like it's late
Mental
nights,
health,
right?
yeah,
like yo,
yeah.
you're out doing comedy all night. You know, these are late nights, dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
getting paid in alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I used to. Me and John used to host Elwood's, and the owner he used to get us all. Yeah, he used to be like, "Yo, let's get drunk." We used to get drunk, yeah, all the time. He used to get mad. He used to get mad. I'd be like, "You're not drinking again," and be like, "Okay." I got really good at drinking and doing comedy, but at some point, I was like, I had the slur game. I could slur and still deliver the jokes.
Okay,
so.
there you go. I need
So it got problematic. You know what I mean? That is a part of the what do you call it? Work hazards. It's a work hazards of stand up. There's real work hazards.
100%.
People don't call it out, and but it's normal. You know. And then when you get good, people buy you shots. People want to hang out with you. Yeah. Yo, I'll tell you a time. Yo, I was like, I was working the club, and this kid, he came out. He had like $30,000 in his pocket. He had 30,000. He's like, yo, you want to go to the casino with me? Like, I thought you were funny.
In the city, right?
Yeah, he was like, I'll front you like $500.
And just go play with me.
You play with me. He's like, I just want a friend, man.
And somebody who's cool, and you're a comedian.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, and then I remember the headliner being like, we had a good time, but he was like, no. I'm not going because he's like he doesn't hang. It wasn't in the city. It was like in Fort Myers, and I remember we went and we were like, yo, it was like it's crazy. It was like 3 other people, and he gave me the $500, and I went to the bathroom. I put it in my sock. I was like, yeah, because I don't play the game. I never won a game. I never win games. So he was like, come on, Paul, like you're not gonna play, man. Come on, play with me, you know. And he gave me another 500. And then instead of giving me the 500, he put like 300 into a machine, and then he pressed it, and then he doubled the money. Like he maxed bet, and then he just gave me more money. He literally gave me like $2,000, but the problem was I was hanging with them, and like the thing in the bathroom, there's like weird people that they'll watch you, they'll like pocket watch you, you know. But he was dropping money. He was trying to hold $30,000 in cash, and he was messed up. So everyone's watching me like, yo, you know this guy, and he's just spilling money. I was like, yo, this, you know, I was trying to be good to him because I was like, I could easily just like take 10,000 from him right now. Yeah. 10. Oh, you dropped $4,000, dog? Gotcha. So yo, he came out and everyone's just looking. You know this guy? Yo, how did you get this money? I was like, I don't know. Yo, just get it. You know, we played a little blackjack, and then his friend got kicked out for some. And then we went back home.
Strip club.
Yeah. He was like, you want to go to the sailboat tomorrow? I was like, nah, bro, you wild. And then this family showed up the next day. They're like, you hung out with our son. We love your act. And I was like,
no way.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, we got to have you over for dinner, and we got a beautiful sailboat, and like, and I was like,
what comedy club was this? What was the name of the comedy club?
It was Belushi's.
Is it still? It's not there no more, huh?
It's not there no more. It was connected to the comedy bar, and they have a few locations in Chicago, but it was connected to a tilted kilt, which was like a Hooters. Like if you don't know the image of a tilted kilt, so.
Dang, bro.
So.
You meet and you go in there and you crush in the comedy club, bro. They see you like a star, you know, and then.
Yeah, I mean, I was a host, so that's the thing with the hosting. It's like sometimes you think. Oh, sorry, I don't. You tell me the comedy club with the hosting is like you don't want to kill because you don't want to. You don't want to outdo the headline. Like it's not a good show if you kill.
I was gonna ask you about that. I've heard hosts will be like, somebody was telling me where he told me. He's had hosts be like, hey, don't be using dirty jokes. Like, hey, that was too dirty. I'm a dirty actor. You have to be clean. I had a guy told me he was opening and like the main act told him, yo, you're too dirty. And then the guy was like, oh, for real? And then when he went on stage, the guy was like mad dirty too. So he's like, he just wanted the opposite. He wanted to get like he wanted everybody clean before him. So when he goes on stage, people are like, wow, look at this guy. This guy don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah. No, that's essentially what you have to, like, when you're hosting, you are just catering to what they want.
They might not want you to be that good, dog.
They don't want you that good. They want you to be, a host doesn't have to be good. A host just has to be, the crowd just needs to be smiling and it doesn't have to have negative energy. That's why a host could just be anything. Like a host could just be like, you know, but like you want to have jokes, but you don't want to be, you want to be popping off. But like if you outdo the headliner, I mean, which is great for you, but it's also just says something. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't happen. The headliner has a lot of experience. Like I've never like outdid the. You know, he's doing it for 45 minutes an hour, but maybe I did. Yeah. So, but now I'm just saying because there's some guys that's just like they're
phoning it in.
Yeah,
they're phoning it in, dog.
They're phoning it in. So there's a lot of wild sets. There's a lot of wild headliners. So
100%, bro. Or if they don't like them, how many people? If there's not a lot of people in the crowd, they might be like, oh, what the fuck? And then yeah, I've seen that. We're in the comedy, and I can see that. I see like when professionals go in there and like, wow, this guy puts in the bum. Oh snap!
It's cool. I respect though. I respect. Everybody has their old school, so it's like everybody jokes are more important. I feel like now we're in like a very transient. Like you got to be quick. You got to have like your material. You got to turn it over, or at least it feels like it. But I guess yeah. My mind. I always just being in a showcase. Like you do showcases. You do like 10. So you do 10 minutes with like 10 or like 8 comics, and you try to like you know. Be the best.
You want to have your best 10 out there, especially in a showcase, right? That's when you want to bring your best work.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Everybody's on a different plateau, you know, different. They have different energy. Like if you got a writing job, you just like you could get on any show, so you're just phoning it in. So it's like everyone's just like, or you're just like, for me, I was always just like, oh, this means so much, like, because you coming from Miami to New York, you don't have like nobody has a pipeline to Miami. You have no connection. You go to Miami. Of course, there's a Miami-New York connection, but I'm saying in the stand-up world, like when I got in there, nobody was like Florida. Nobody was like from Florida. Nobody was like, there was a few people from Florida, but I'm saying nobody's co-signing Miami comics. So some people got to think like, there's some cities that when you come in, you're automatically, oh, you're from Chicago. So people know Chicago comics, and the Chicago comics could be like, they could vouch for you. There's no one vouching for a guy from Miami who just wanted to do it. So when I started,
there's nobody here that you can be like, yo, this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna set you up. You know?
Yeah, none of that, and nobody from Florida was just like. So I made some friends. Like, oh, we're both from Florida. You know, we're doing this mic. You know, we could tell we don't have any connections. So I made friends that way. Like, oh, you from Florida? Like, I'm from Miami. Yo, they're like this and that. So, but it's interesting because people like you really start from zero and you build yourself up.
It's like university comedy when you go there. You meet all these people from all different places. You might have got like a Las Vegas guy. What about the guys from the Midwest for real, like Kentucky and shit, where they just got nothing, dog? We're out here complaining about the Miami crowd. We're like, oh, the Miami crowd doesn't pay attention. They're all doing cocaine in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, right, dog. What about in Nebraska, where you got like 45 minutes to the only thing that's opened, you know? And
Nebraska's crazy.
You've been out there, yo. So, where's the craziest? What's some of the craziest spots you've done comedy, yo?
Crazy.
You've been in the middle. You've been in the middle of.
Yeah, Nebraska was crazy.
Nebraska. I was just kidding. Yeah, I don't even know what is in Nebraska, dog. It's like
I don't know. It was a pole down. It was like a car. Yeah, it was a carny. I remember I passed by. The guy was like, he asked his friend. He's like, "When's the last time you used the N-word?" And I was like, "Yo, I could just say that like while I'm walking dog." So I was like, "Yo, it's like that." So yeah, I remember being really awkward. But like a lot. You know what's interesting is when I go to places like that, the younger generation, the older generation might hate it. But the younger generation is like, thank you for just bringing art and like culture to our city, you know? And they're like, because they're like they're also searching for art too. They're like searching for some youth or something that's different than what their parents' ideology has been placed in the town.
Especially like Old Town, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you like the Footloose. You like the Footloose in the city. You're like, oh, they're like, yo, this guy's telling jokes and saying how it is, you know, what's up, you know? This guy's cool, you know?
Yeah, like some
well, the parents
kids,
are like,
you know?
pull up your parents, you know, it's like, no, dad, you know, you have a lot
like
of that.
The rebel kids, you know, they want to be like the opposite of their parents.
Exactly, man. So I would say corny.
Wow. Any places? Man, I was always wondering, like, would it be like waking up in like some random hotel, like in the middle of the country, dog? That's a wild one, you know, like in Nebraska or Kentucky or something, you know, like Miami's, you know, I haven't really traveled much in the USA. That's what's kind of embarrassing.
Really?
I've traveled all over Asia, dog. I've been more places outside the country, but in Miami, in America, I drove to New Jersey, so I've been through all the states driving up, you know. But let me see where we got. I went to. You did comedy in Las Vegas?
I have not done comedy in Las Vegas.
I probably could have done comedy there. I went there for the UFCs to go watch my boy fight, and then I think I fucked up because there's a comedian that I follow on Instagram. And he's an MMA comedian. Like, he does, you know, this guy, I think Adam, oh, man. And then I saw him there. There's a comedy club in the hotel I was staying at, and he was downstairs talking to somebody. And I was with my boy, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he has like a roasted UFC fighters. He did a show where he had UFC fighters do 5 minutes. Some of them
Oh, word, okay.
Yeah. And then, but I was mad wasted, so I didn't want to be like a wasted guy. I didn't want to like be like smelling liquor, like, I'm a comedian, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then I forget, I'm like, yo, look at my ears and shit. What the hell are you gonna say to me? You know? I was like, I was here to watch the champ fight, but. So I didn't want to like go up to the guy all drunk, but I saw him. I was like, fuck, that was an opportunity. We're only there for like 3 days,
I got you, man. Take it next time, bro.
That's what I'm saying,
man. You
dog.
gotta take your opportunities, man. That's how you grow.
Have you gone? What about New Jersey, yo?
I've done shows in New Jersey. New Jersey's cool. I have lived in different areas. I was in Texas for a little. I was in like middle of nowhere, Texas. I went to school out there.
That's another place that scares me, bro. I don't know, man. Everybody's saying to move to Austin, and I watched Kill Tony. I was like, I don't want to live with these. That place looks wild, dog.
Austin?
Yeah.
Austin's the most liberal place
That's
in.
what I'm saying, but like, it's just like kind of like young, dog. Like I don't know, I'm maybe too old for that shit, yo. Like just wow, everybody's on mushrooms out. Everybody's like, yo.
Yeah.
When I watch Kill Tony, I mean, I'm judging on the open mic.
No, you're
Kill
right.
Tony,
No, it is that. It is that energy. You're right. It's like
wild,
Denver.
like, it seems like a big college, like I don't know, but it's young, dog.
It's a young energy. Yeah, it definitely is. Austin, I mean, I don't know about Austin. Well, when I was in Texas, I lived in the slower areas. Like you could smell the cow manure in the morning.
Oh my god!
And there was nothing. Yeah, it would get cold. It would get like 30, lower than 30s, and like you could smell like the cow poop in the air. That's how much like there was nothing because it was
Cowboys.
Cowboys. You know what's crazy is I actually started liking it after like a few years of living there. I low key was like. I like the slowness. There's something about it, and it's beautiful.
Like a more relaxed living.
Yeah, it was like mad slow. I got caught up in a dust storm. It was 60-mile-per-hour winds out of nowhere.
Dust storm, like dust, dirt.
Yeah, like dirt. Yeah,
like a sandstorm.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's
what do? You just pull over?
Yo, I don't know. I was looking like I was walking back home, and I looked back, and I see the crowd was just brown. And it was coming like fast as hell, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it was like kind of like watching Armageddon almost come down on you. So I just curled up in a ball, and it was like,
"Oh, you were out? You weren't in the car?"
No, I was outside walking.
Oh, what, bro? Nah, fuck. And we got hurt. Nah.
And then I was in a pillar. I was like in between a pillar, and it was like,
oh, like hiding behind the wall.
Yeah,
so
and I was just like,
you,
but I couldn't see. It was like you could not see forward. It was all brown. And I just remember, like, I just was there for, like I was just there for, 12 minutes. It's like, and then, like, I could kind of see, like, lightly. And then I just remember, like, I just walked into the taco shop. There was a taco shop across the street. And I was just spitting dirt, and everybody was just laughing at me.
Oh, my God.
They're like, bro. Are you okay? How long you been out there? I'm like,
Yo.
Sand in my lungs. But they called it a haboob. They called it a haboob.
Oh,
it's just an event. It randomly happened. But I would always be running in dirt, and sand would be slapping me. Because I used to be a runner.
There's no greenery, right?
No, there's no greenery.
Oh, see, that sound like that's wild.
Yeah, because I used to be a runner.
What like 800 meter?
800 cross country, yeah. So, yeah, I used to have my teammates. Yeah, we used to run around. Yeah, we used to run in these, like, planes.
In Texas?
Yeah, in Texas. We used to run in these planes and stuff that were beautiful. Like 17 miles, haystacks, tumbleweeds, and it would just be a middle of nowhere. Sometimes people be shooting guns in the middle of the there's pow, and you're, like, running for your life. And
like, yo, what part of Texas you in, dog? You're like, yo, Kanye,
Definitely, I was, yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
it was a little mixed. It was actually multicultural. Like, I definitely had moments where, like, I don't know if you know the stanky leg. There used to be a dance they called the stanky leg. So, like, old aunties would be like, there'd be clubs with, like, old ladies. They'd be like, do the stanky. And that was years before it came out. Like, before it got big in the U.S. So people were, like, doing it in the fishnet stockings and stuff. So, I had fun, yo. But, yeah, it was cool. I had Kenyan teammates that were, like, mad dope.
Oh, they were fast.
They were fast.
My God. I ran track for when I was a kid, dog.
Okay, cool.
Only for a little bit, you know. And you know what's funny? I ran in my neighborhood, and then we went to a track meet, and that's when I learned about black athleticism, dog. I did a race. I was like, I got smoked by everybody. That was
Yeah.
They were making fun of me. Dog. I didn't want to finish the race. I was like, oh, this is so. We went to Philly. We took a bus, dog. I was
wow,
I was
okay.
fast in Miami. I was just going to these fucking Cubans. I was smoking them, dog. I went to the hood in Philly. Fuck, man. I learned quick, dog.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's real. Track is one of the most embarrassing sports too. If you suck at it, bro.
Yeah, right. You might be all right, and then like you can just go. Somebody will blow you out, dog. Blown out.
But
you don't want to finish the race. That's what happened to me.
I've definitely gotten like when I first started, gotten like dead last and been like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, and you gotta finish, right? You gotta finish.
In Miami, they had this woo 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 woo. So the crowd would do that if you're getting passed. So let's say you're on the last 100 meters and you're in the front, but they see that you're like tightening up, and they see it. They'll do it to the pace of the guy about to beat you.
Yeah, so like,
and it's so embarrassing, boy.
You can feel the energy of the crowd, right?
So they like he's gonna get you, and the crowd. Well, it'd be embarrassing if you got caught doing that, yo. And it'd
So
be
you
like,
feel the person behind you. You don't want to look back. You gotta like.
you don't look. The minute you look back, you lose. That's like, yeah, that's real. You know, that's like a gazelle, yo. If a gazelle looks back at the lion, he knew he was gonna get eaten. He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Same with running. I'm like, you know, because I used to coach too. I'd be like, don't look back. And the minute I knew the kid was like, man, you know you're gonna get eaten. I just like, you know.
Oh, you used to coach running, yo.
I used to coach track, yeah.
Oh, that's all. Yo, I love track and field. If I was like, if I have young kids now and I'm coaching them, like in the class, I make them do wrestling. If they're in high school, I tell them to do wrestling, and I tell them to do track and field and sign up. For
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And then like I know the wrestling coaches used to always make their guys do track and field too. You know, like it's good conditioning.
That's good. It's
Running,
good.
road work. That's the best one. That's my favorite workout, yo. Like if I'm ever slacking or something like that, just wake up in the morning and go for a big run. You still running shit for fun and like get it out?
I try to, but I hate running. You know,
Oh,
yeah.
like that shirt. I used to do. I got really into it when I got a little bit older, you know. But then I hurt my knee doing a marathon, yo. Like I blew.
Oh yeah,
that
I never. You know what it is? I never. People were like, do a marathon. I never did it. Because I knew every person I talked to that did it got hurt.
Bro, there you go, dog. I got hurt, and I only ran like the most I did was like 13 miles, right, up to the marathon, and then because they say you're supposed to save it for the race, you know. But I was killing it. I was on great time. I was on time for like 7 minutes. I was on time for like a 3-hour marathon. Like at the 17 mile, my knee locked up.
That's dope, man. Damn.
I was with the pace setters and shit. I was with the pace setters of the 3-hour guys. Like, oh shit, I couldn't believe it. I was training hard, and then my knee locked up, and I still finished, but I finished like 4 hours and like 10 minutes. You know.
Damn, man. That's the type of stuff,
you know
man. It's a lot of distance. You also got to think like when I think about the Kenya runs, they're like 135. So sometimes
but they do distance too, yo.
They do distance. That's what I'm saying. Like so their weight and they're like light. You know, like I was like 160 and I was maybe 45 and I'm considered heavy as a runner.
Right. Yeah, that's wild.
So you gotta be you really gotta be thin and like almost just perfectly explosive and very thin, like a John Bones-ish. Type of like explosive, but like no, actually, you know, I don't know.
Long, so you can cover distance, probably like cover distance at least amount of energy.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Helps,
that
right?
concept.
Yeah. Like big legs will get you quicker, right? Like more steps, less energy, I guess.
That's exactly fighting and running and the energy levels is super cool. I like learning. Because I'm like, okay. I also think about the rounds. Because I'm like, if it's a 3-round fight, it has to be way more punches, way more explosions, right? Like, way more intensity. Because you have to, it's almost like a sprint. You're like,
an MMA fight is a sprint. A boxing match is a marathon.
Okay, yeah.
And then a jiu-jitsu match is like a sprint.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Yeah. How many punches? Do you have like is there like a number of punches like a fighter can actually throw in a fight? Do y'all measure that? Like
in MMA we really don't.
Okay.
Boxing they count box count. In boxing they do like he threw 300 punches that round, 200 punches. And MMA they really don't. They do, but I mean I've never really.
Okay, got you. Because I would
like to know. I don't know actually. I don't know my own numbers. You know, I wonder like I would have to check the chat GPT. I bet you I could put all my fights in there. It'll tell me how many minutes, how many punches I've thrown and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's interesting, though. I never thought about that.
I thought they would be like that. I was like, they're like, at most, human being could probably throw like 1500, like, I mean, not 1500, but like maybe 600 punches in a 12-round fight.
Yeah, I think
And that's the
I
most.
think 200. Is that what they said? Did you
No,
look
I'm
this
just
up?
saying.
Oh,
I'm making up the numbers. I don't know.
No, I think like 200 a round. I think sometimes
200 a round?
I think some guys throw like.
Damn.
That may be way off. Dog. We really need a young Jamie right now. Yo, Sal, pull it up.
Oh, like
We got a
200?
young Jamie.
How many minutes? That's a punch per second.
What is like Pacquiao's
Yeah,
average
2
punch
punches.
count? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. It's a 3-minute round. So 1, 2.
Yeah. That's wild.
It's a lot of punches. I've never
you're
done boxing. My friends are doing bare knuckle now. This fucking fighting is getting crazy. I got out right in time. I got in right on time. I got in before the athletes got in. It was like a niche sport. You know,
Okay,
what is
got
this
you.
shit? It was probably like when you did comedy 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was niche. It's like you had to like really look for it. You know, now you look through a rock and you hit a jiu-jitsu gym across the street. It's not even cool anymore. I tell people I do jiu-jitsu. Like, yeah, my son's a fucking pro. I'm like, ah, fuck you, I'm an MMA fighter. You know what? I don't do jiu-jitsu. I do strikes too, you know? And then when the boxers, I'm like, I do MMA, you know? So.
But you really did it for the love, you know?
Yeah. I got lucky that I did it before when it was like, it got popular. And then as I was already pretty good, like I was like an intermediate level. Like I was a purple belt. And then it really blew up. Like Conor McGregor changed the game for the MMA sport. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, do you feel like the athleticism? Because I feel like with fighting, fighting is still. Do you feel like athleticism plays a big part in fighting? Because I know in sprinting, certain things are like, okay, you got to be athletic, but I felt like fighting involved a lot of technique.
And fighting is they say in the first round the best athlete wins. Oh, this is a good analogy. In the first round, the best athlete wins. In the second round, the best fighter wins. In the third round, the guy with the biggest heart wins. That's like the how they say. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
that's
so,
cool.
Like,
That's cool.
athleticism is good, but only take you so far. The dynamic is like when you get a guy it's the same thing like with like Eddie Murphy. You get a guy who's like good looking, he's hilarious, and he's fucking charismatic. You know what I'm saying? We're like, it's like batting all three. In fighting, if you're athletic, if you're charismatic, and you have ridiculous work ethic, that's like the cream of the crop. But on just work ethic alone, you can get fucking far, dog. And I think you can say that with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 99%, dog. Like that 1%, that top 1%, that's when you get like the super athlete who's also super dedicated. Because it's weird how it works, dog. Sometimes if a guy's the best athlete, he ain't gonna work that hard because he doesn't have to. So he just doesn't
Exactly,
understand.
okay.
It's crazy. Like for me, I'm not the best athlete, so I gotta do a lot and I've surpassed guys that are better athletes. Or I've had guys that are really good athletes don't understand why I'm good. It's like those smart guys it's like those writers in comedy. That when you go up there and they think you're an idiot, and then you go up there and you just make everybody laugh. Like, how the fuck does this idiot make people laugh, you know?
Exactly.
It's like very similar. Like, so like the athlete is like the super smart writer guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
But dog, the best thing that I love about fighting is that, yeah, athleticism is important, charisma, but it's like it's all about heart and fucking grit.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
At the end of the day, it's all grit. You get that's my in my fights. My goal is always to get the guy exhausted, so that we're both exhausted, and then I'm gonna work, and then I'm gonna try and break him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I look at sports and I always think there's so many gym created in all around sports. So it's like even with basketball, it's like I see people that are like athletically off the charts, but I'm like. You don't really have the
bitches.
game.
They could be little bitches.
Yeah, they
dog.
don't really
I know
have
what you're saying.
game.
I mean, a
they're
lot of
gym.
athletes-
They're like gym made.
Yeah.
They're like, cool. We got the numbers,
They're
and you
jocks,
lift it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 100%.
There's more
dog.
scientist-based athleticism, so it's like it's a weird thing. Like, so I'm like, you say that, but like your generation, so you definitely kick that. It set the tone, and still would probably fuck up most of the people.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the fighting is the one sport though, like where heart and dedication, like and fatigue, bro. Like a well conditioned
Yeah, I bet.
athlete is like you can be the best athlete, but if you're not conditioned, then like the best guys right now are like the most conditioned. Like my boy Alex Volkanovski, he's fighting. He's going up in weight class. He's fighting for
Nice.
he's fighting Islam Makhachev next weekend, bro, in Australia, and he's from Australia. He's a 45-pound champ, and he's the #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And he's gonna challenge for the 155-pound title, which is like Khabib's like protege. And he's gonna go up to go challenge him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And his best attribute is he's a fucking cardio machine, dog. Like that guy can put on a pace in fights that like makes people scared, dog. And in the training room, he was the same way, you know.
Okay,
So,
that's
like,
dope.
That cardio is like a superpower. You know what I mean? So,
Damn,
yeah,
that's sick.
That's my favorite shit. That's why I love fighting. That's why I got so much into martial arts. That I never really liked sports growing up. You know, like I'm not an athletic guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like below average when it comes to athletics. You know, but MMA, like especially jiu-jitsu. Because jiu-jitsu is like a thinking man's game too. If you can see.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah,
you know?
I noticed.
Like, you got to think it's like chess, dog.
Yeah.
You got to get the overhook, and you got to be thinking like, all right, if I want to arm that bar this guy, you know, you could be setting it up from the way before. You know, you got to pass the guy's guard first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were doing the other day. Oh yeah, how you like jiu-jitsu, dog? That's right.
Yeah,
bro.
I liked it, man. I liked it, bro. It was a dream, bro. It's a dream. I'm not even gonna lie. I always wanted to do martial arts, so I was obsessed with as a kid, I was obsessed. Like I would always watch the kung fu movies and stuff. Like, wah. I've been watching Drunken Master nonstop. So I've been excited. So I was just saying, yeah. My dad, he used to get me in karate. I used to be obsessed. He used to do like knuckle push-ups and try to do splits and stuff. And I would get my little gi and be like,
oh, that's the best, yeah.
Right? And then I was supposed to take a test, but it was like, my dad didn't want me to take it to the next step. So what he did was like, he didn't want me to get the next belt. He was like, okay, it was summer. He's like, you're done. You got to go to school
Summer
now.
camp's over.
So he was like, look up. He was like, okay, we're going to do the test if you think you could pass. And he said, look up to the sky. And then he hit me in the stomach. And then he's like, you failed the test. We're not taking it. He's like, you're not doing no more karate, bro.
It was like mad money for the $150 per month. You know, mother's like, yo, I ain't paying for this belt. You know, those belts offer money, dog. You know,
Yeah.
I found that out now that I'm freaking coaching and shit.
Yeah, that's why.
That whole system, bro, is like, yo, your son's ready for every 3 months. Like, yo, why is this shit every 3 months exactly? And everybody gets a belt. It's like, yo, you got to pay $50 to get the belt, you know?
No, I know exactly. I wasn't mad at him, but I was like, damn, I really wanted to do it. So no, doing it was fun. It was funny. It's just the technique is so. I felt that the technique was so important because I didn't have the technique, so I was using so much energy. So my head starts thinking about like, oh, like you got to have like perfect technique because like
when you're rolling, right?
Yeah, when you're rolling,
the sparring at the end.
I would say when you're rolling, when you're probably fighting, right? Someone else, it's like you gotta know how to time it because if you get caught in some like I gotta do some extracurricular, I don't know how you're gonna survive all those rounds with someone that strong and that good. So I think that's so impressive down like, oh, you got to be smart and like the timing of it too. Cause you got to time it. I didn't think of the timing of it. Like you got to do a little, so I was like, yo, it's funny too. I laugh at when I'm like getting messed up or something bad's happening. So this guy was like fucking
in a triangle. He's got like he's got his balls in your face. You're just like, yo, this the fuck. I gotta learn this shit, you know.
So I was getting fucked up a little. I was starting laughing, and the kid was like, "Yo, why you laughing right now?" I was like, "Yo, that's what I do, man. I'm sorry, man. You got me good. I didn't think about that, man."
Like, yo, why you laughing? He's like, "Cause I'm fucking getting beat up by a 15-year-old right now."
Exactly. He had me on that. He got my leg locked, yo. I was like, yo, he was smart. He was smart, though. It reminds me also of when I was a kid and I would wrestle. I remember they used to make us fight as a kid. It was like friendly, but it was like I used to wrestle with the nerdiest kid. And he was my friend, too, but they would make us fight. And I remember people would be like, "Yo, you athletic, you could beat his ass," but he had all the moves, and he just knew how to. Knew how to hang on and be weird and just all over the place. And like people would be like, "Yo, you can't beat this guy's ass. You're a loser, dude." and he was my friend, so it was kind of nice that we didn't like end up hurting each other. Yeah. But I always respected him because, you know, and he was able
wrestling. He did like wrestling.
He didn't do wrestling. We were just like playing around. But like, you know, I was decent at like the amateurs, you know, whatever wrestling as at home. But
yeah, like
he had the like,
shit, you know?
Yeah, he had just a way to just be like, oh, like turtle, and like and then it would be like, you can't beat him, bro. This like. And then it's like, yeah, you have a little bit of a technique. You could definitely, and I have zero technique.
That's the thing. That's why right now, and when you have no technique, you use all your power, and that's how you get exhausted. Because the key is to like be relaxed and do it, but you got to find that fine line.
Yeah.
You know?
So
it's always hard in the beginning. That's what the game in the beginning, you know. And then one day it just flicks, you know. And then like, but it's weird how it happens, right? Like it's hard to explain too, because I have people and I have students, and I'm like, yo, you just got to do it every day for a month, and then one day it just makes sense, you know. It's hard, to, you know. You just get. Because a lot of times when I'm showing the moves too, I'm like, damn, how do I explain to you that put your heads away, you know? It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I'm so bad at instructions. Never been good at listening.
There you go.
I feel bad for you too. I was like, bro, just give it a break. You like the left and the right. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what left and right is, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm looking at you like, dog.
Like the other left.
Yeah. I'm like,
It's like
bro,
the hip, not the shoulder.
I'm looking at you like, dog, come on, man. Oh no, I'll try my best. I'll use my left. Nah, it's cool. It's good for me to learn because I like, even when I take like basic dance, like simple, I've taken a waltz class and they've been like, yo, man, do you know how to even?
Listen,
And that's just
even,
2, 3.
I can't even dance salsa, dog. And I'm just like, I've never still haven't learned
Salsa's
salsa.
tough, man,
So,
right? Well, I would consider salsa like.
bro, I have no rhythm. That's just what's good about it. This is why you're in good hands, dog. Because if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. I used to teach motherfuckers in China, dog. They didn't speak a lick of English.
Oh,
you know?
shit.
So they had no idea. I had one client. This guy I would train in the morning. That's my fucking favorite. Yo, one of the best relationships I have ever had in my life. Like, one of the people I have the most admiration for, and we never even had a conversation together, dog. The guy would just message me. I used to personal train this guy in the morning in Thailand, like at 7 in the morning. He's from mainland China.
Okay.
And my boy passed him to me, you know? And this guy would just, he would like bring me an energy drink and a water every morning, or a Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would come early, on point, and like, yo, that guy, because of that guy, I was up every day, like at 6:30 in the morning, on point, no matter what I was doing the night before, because I knew he was going to be there. Like, that guy didn't miss a day, you know? He didn't miss a day. He always paid me on point, paid me ahead. You know, I fucking love that guy. We don't even know his name, dog. I got him on the app, you know what I'm saying? I can't even mention him right now if I wanted to. We just disappeared one day out of my life. But yeah, yo, I used to show him jiu-jitsu every morning, him and his boy. I'd just do the move on him, and then I'll do the move on his boy, and then I'll have them do it.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
That's it, you know. But we didn't even speak the same language, yo.
Yo, that's what's up. That's
what's cool about that shit. It's like a universal language, dog. You know.
Yeah, I'm excited. It was super fun. I'm glad you stopped that bigger dude from wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Good. You're like, nah, he's good. He's good. I was like, thank you, man. Cause you know, I'll front, but like, I'm gonna be really laughing when he has me on the rear naked. He's gonna kill me, coach.
Hey, yo, how long you been training? Hey, day one, you go with this guy. I put you like the young hungry guy. Don't know no better. You know. That's the name of the game, too. Keeping people healthy, dog. You can go some people that you go your first day and then like you can't get you get matched up with the big guy and then you just get, oh my back. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, then you're out of the game
man,
for like 3
I bet.
months, you know. So you gotta be like on point with that, dog.
No, I definitely, from doing sports, definitely taught myself to chill out.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't know that you ran track, dog. Now I got more motivated to fucking train, and we can do some running, dog. I love to run, yo.
Okay.
I want to do Biscayne. You ever do? I love doing the Biscayne Bridge, dog, and just like nice view.
Oh,
bro.
the Biscayne Bridge.
Oh man, I just go out there, chill. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, I'm down.
There's nice ladies out there too, dog. Some good candy.
Yeah. You ever go? You do the run clubs?
I used to.
Yeah.
Back when I used to do the marathon, I got into the running scene in Miami. I was doing the turkey trot. Like I'll do the 5Ks and 10Ks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The 20 to 25, I was killing it. That's when I used to do those runs. But you know what? Ain't nobody at 20 to 25 waking up at 5 in the morning to do the run. So I used to get like second place sometimes, dog. You know, I got second place and I got third place in the turkey trot, yo.
Oh, nice, man.
In the 10K. But it ain't nobody. But that's in my weight class, in my division, in my age group, 20 to 25. There's like 10 of us. You feel me?
It's still good, man.
The best runners are like 35 to 40, right? That's like when they peak, supposedly.
I feel like it, yeah. 20 to, yeah, when you're doing long
Like
distance,
the olders,
it
right?
takes a long time to develop that long distance because it's such a small increment of like growth per, of like your heart rate going up and up and up, and like you just got to develop that endurance, that base of like, hey, I ran 20. So
yeah, the 800 meters hard too, bro. 2 laps. That's like a real endurance run. That's more than the mile.
That's where it starts hitting. It starts hitting that energy of, I think they call it like X. Like it's almost anaerobic and
aerobic.
Aerobic
goes to like over like a certain amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's at 60 to 80 anaerobic. Aerobic.
60 to 80 what?
Percent.
Oh,
like say like cross country is like, it's like pretty much like 80% aerobic. Like
where cross country is
cross country is like more aerobic. We could consider that an aerobic sport.
Yeah, anaerobic would be like sprints, like 100 meters.
Yeah, I would say like 800 is like 80%, like 60 to 80% anaerobic.
Yes, it's like in the middle. Yeah,
it's like you're
conditioning, dog, bro. To do one lap, run a 400 meters hard and fast as you can.
Yeah, and then do it again. Dog. Yeah, you gotta. It's.
But you got a fast mile. You've recorded your fastest mile.
They never really made me ran them out. They made me switch up. I was really a 400 meter runner, and that was my best event.
400
So-
meters. That's good. That's like sprint. That's like a mid sprint.
Yeah, it's a mid-sprint.
That's fast, dog.
Yeah.
You gotta be quick for that, you know?
Yeah, so that was my thing, but then I was like a little awkward. I did the 800 because I was strong enough. I did cross country, but it wasn't my fit. I don't like running.
Yeah,
long
cross
distance.
country's distance. That's
Yeah, I
like,
do not like that. So
just the
it was
cardio.
hard because I would switch body styles so like quickly. But I like the sports. I like the aerobic. It's cool like learning because sometimes people focus on the science of it. Like they'll be like, oh, you have an 80% V dot. I know you ever heard of V dot or the one with it's like the heart rate, your heart, how much your heart blood pump or whatever.
VO2 max.
VO2 max. Sorry,
Yes,
yeah.
dog. I know
V dot,
exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about. I have a pretty good one. Supposedly, you could do the test. And you could run on the thing, and they can test
Yeah,
your VO2
yeah,
max.
I've done that, yeah.
Oh, so what did they say?
I was like at 68. I think I was pretty good. Yeah.
Ooh,
But you know what's crazy is that some people, it's not even about that because at the end of the day, it's about efficiency and technique.
Yeah.
So certain people, I had my friend, he was like a 56, I was like a 68, and he still ran faster than me because he had
Better
the
strokes.
better efficiency in a long run. You know, I was like, I sprinted faster, but it's just like, yeah, you gotta be efficient, you gotta land right, you still have to rotate. So it's like, all that stuff, it was, you know, kind of at a certain point, it was like not, people obsess about it, but it's really like, it's cool, man. It's so cool. I love sports. But it's cool to do the jiu-jitsu class and then learn about a new sport that I'm like, oh yeah, I always wanted to get into it.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
and
bro,
now,
I'm
and now you be
excited.
you be hecklered strong, dog. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You be hecklered
yeah.
defense proof, bro. Like now you're gonna go on stage before you be like, damn, I hope nobody fucks with me today. Now you be like, what? You be like, yo, why you looking so fat? Yo, that's your wife? That's your girl, bro? And you start talking to his girl. She be like, you just hoping like, I wish a motherfucker would rush this stage, dog. As soon as he goes, like, boom, judo throw hip, dog.
yeah.
Yo, imagine you fucking make everybody laugh and you do a little hip throw and you do jiu-jitsu so you don't hurt him because if you knock him out and he falls over, he's gonna knock the table over. It's gonna be all crazy, you know. But if he does run up on you and you can just grab him, arm drag him, take his back, and you're like, yo, what are you gonna do? And he's just like, what, you know, you can got. That's the good thing about jiu-jitsu. You have the ultimate control of somebody, you know, where you can be chill, like you see, like where the other guy can be like real relaxed, and if the guy doesn't know what he's doing, it's a joke, dog. The guy's gonna get tired after. Everybody's got like 45 seconds of explosion.
Oh yeah,
Like
you're
1
right.
minute, no
yeah.
matter what, you know. Like even when you do jiu-jitsu or like wrestling, if you take a guy down, you gotta be careful. Like they're always gonna be like crazy the first like minute and a half, you know.
But once after that, they're like,
Hey, you just gotta cook the beans. That's what I call cooking the beans, dog.
stay alive, don't get fucked.
Yeah, like you know, like you ever eat a bean? It's hard when you first bite it, right? So you gotta put
okay.
it in the oven and you cook it up. The longer you cook it, the softer the bean
Oh,
is.
okay.
That's how I look at it. That's my mentality on fighting, dog. I should tell my
like that.
students that, dog. And when my students are training, I say, cook the beans. When they're on top, I just tell them, yo, relax, breathe.
What type of beans? That's an old school. Don't we have canned beans, man? They're ready.
They're microwave water. These are ready at 30. Oh, shit.
I'm like, you cooking like my mom cooks beans, man. I haven't cooked that way. I never cook beans like that, dude.
I put them in the microwave for 30 seconds.
The kids
true.
already getting
Who's
slammed
cooking?
on the neck, yo.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now I
Royal
think about it.
beans.
Yeah,
Cooking
it's
the
a good. Yeah,
beans.
cooking the beans
I'm
is
gonna
good.
say
I was
that
just
when you
fucking
come to class next week, I'm gonna say it. I'm be like, yo, cook the beans, bro. I'm just gonna be like, stay on top, dog.
I'm gonna get that 15-year-old.
Oh yeah.
It's also interesting. A lot of comics do self defense. They fight.
Really, I've seen. I've been meeting more and more now. You know.
Yeah, a lot of the people in the cellar, I think they have like their own. They do it low key. They don't talk about it.
That's
So.
what's up. That's what I want to do. I want to have a class on. I talked to Oriel about it. The thing is, everybody can do Sunday, but I don't like training on Sunday, dog. You know, I think
Yeah.
I teach Monday through Friday in the gym, so like I feel bad 'cause a lot of people they want to go to the gym on their off days, you know. But for me, the gym is the work. So like, yeah, when they want to train on the weekends, it's because they work all week and they can't go on the weekends, you know. But I would like to get like a class, like a good mid-afternoon class where all the comedians come in. I know we like to sleep in, dog.
Yeah. No, that'd be good. I think it'd be good for everybody.
Like a comedian, yeah, and it's especially too for like you're saying, mental health, dog.
It is. It's good because I'm like I get if I don't run, like I'm like a dog. Like if I don't run or do stuff, I get anxious.
You gotta expend that energy, bro.
Yeah, or become my bitch assness level gets high.
100%, dog.
I become just not aware of like what's hard and tough. Like I just become kind of weak.
Dog, there's a little inner bitch inside all of us, and he's amazing, and I love it. You know, that's the guy that wants to sleep in. You know what I mean? That's when you want to like, this the snooze clock. Everybody loves the snooze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, dog. It's hard. You just the best thing to do is just find that guy and shoot him in the head, dog. But it's hard. It's hard, right? It's hard, yo.
Because that guy's you, man.
Yeah, dog. Like I'm a little bitch. I'm a little bitch. Like, what if you just tell David Goggins, like, yo, man, I don't want to, I'm just, what?
Yeah, not today, bitch. Not today. There's always this response. You ready to be a bitch again?
Yeah, you just gotta fucking kill
No.
him,
Yeah, it kind of is like that, yeah. Because every day it's a new bitch that wakes up and yeah, but it felt good. Like those days I was like in the zone. I was having healthy conversations with people. I was like, okay. Because I just felt like, yeah, it's been a while. Because running was so great for me, like just to be running, and then I get exhausted, and then I had a cool temperament.
That's what it is, dog. Yo, man.
So I'm ready. I'm ready for that. I'm excited.
Yeah, I was talking to my boy about that too. Like the good thing about training is like the only way to do it effectively is you got to turn your brain off. You know, like you got to be thinking about what you're doing at that moment, right? If not, it doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, and then I guess something therapeutic about that, you know, like you go to the gym, you train, and if you're just worried about this guy punch you in the face the whole time, that's 1 hour that you don't think about all the other crazy shit that happened in the day, you know, like you're not thinking about the girl or the stress or the bills or the money, you know, you just trying not to die, you know, just trying to stay alive, dog, and then you get, oh shit, things get more clear, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it got me all hyped up. I gotta go. Tomorrow's Monday, so we're gonna start the week early. I gotta train tomorrow morning, dog, and get on it.
Oh, Monday. You have a class at 7, right?
Yeah. I got a class at 9, and tomorrow at 7 p.m. and 9 a.m. You know what I'm saying?
That's a something.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dog, you saw the alien? Oh, we were talking about it before the podcast.
I was like,
I'm glad I remembered. So, yeah, you were saying you had a podcast. What was it about? I think I misunderstood you. It was a space. What was the podcast? You said you were...
you said that's some real nerdy. You said that's some nerdy shit.
I just shit on it, but then after you I was like, oh, wait, maybe you're not.
You're like, that's some nerdy shit. I was like... All right, just gonna say that. It was like Dungeons Dragons for space, right?
That is nerdy, dog.
Yeah.
That's more. That's like next level.
Yeah, I'm not cool, man. I don't know. People keep you're so cool now. I had to learn how to dress a little. Yeah, I want punani just like anyone in the world, dude.
You ain't gonna get punani playing Dungeons and Dragons
in space. But now I will, yeah.
So is this the board game or what?
It was like I would write a script about like the aliens, like like okay, you ran into an alien race and they. But what do you mean ran a script? What do you mean wrote a script? Pretty much, I'd write a script like almost a Star Trek episodes of different alternatives based on your decisions, and then we have a conversation about you and your connection to space.
Yo, that's wild. What? So if I was we would just like read a script.
Yeah, I'd have a script like based on like maybe what you felt about space. It'd be like, okay, an alien, they kidnapped you. They kidnapped you, and like they say like, hey, if you call your friends, we'll kill all your friends. So you either get killed or you secretly do some other mission, and then you roll
cook the beans.
So it'd be something like that. But that's the hard thing was like I had to develop it, and it was also it's like a podcast. So I also had to develop. It was so many things and aspects. I had to write this thing. I had to get the guests. So I was actually doing it on my own. I was working with a network. That was like they were like kind of not like they were like look they did other stuff. They were like, okay, we like your idea, so they were trying to hash it out. We were trying to hash it out, but like it was just me, and it was too much, and it was like too sporadic. But I pitched them an idea. They liked it.
Wait, what kind of network? Like in New York, huh? You were just when you were.
They were they had a big had a big podcast. They worked with Adult Swim at some point.
Damn, so there's like podcast networks and stuff, huh? I saw that. You seen this? I've been looking into that. Like, there's like podcast networks that people.
They hook
like,
you up.
Yeah, but I want to do that. I want to go like solo dolo. I want to do like the independent route, grinding. You know what I mean?
feel like you're doing it right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I forget sometimes. You know, like we're fucking doing it, man. We're doing it, dog.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. For real.
We're gonna make a Honey Badger network. We're gonna make a HB network, dog.
You could.
You know
You could easily be like, yo, for all this, you know, people. That's what people do.
Well use it more. That's what. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Go, my bad. Cut you
No,
off.
there's what I saw, and I see a lot because I follow. Like I don't follow people, but I like random people podcasts. So I look at some, but some of them in New York, they're like little studios like this, and then people, you know, they pay, and then they have the multiple camera setups. So whatever camera you just pay based on what you want and the look, and then if you want a squad to help out, then you pay for the time of the squad helping you out.
So we could just easily just put like a black curtain here, and then they can make whatever. Like you seen the Bobby Green, or no, the YMH, the Your Mom's House network.
No, I haven't. You said Bobby Lee?
No, Bobby Lee.
You said Bobby Green?
Yeah, they have he has like 5 podcasts, and they're all there. They have like Dr. Drew has a podcast there. Tom Segura has a podcast, but they all have different.
Got you. Okay.
It's the same YouTube channel, but every day is a different podcast.
That's a good idea.
Like,
I didn't know about that. How they network them together.
Yeah. So then it's YMH, Your Mom's House Studios. It's Your Mom's House. Tom Segura and his wife, right?
Okay, I've seen that one.
And then they got 2 bears, 1 cave. And I noticed, and they must be different rooms because they all have a different setup, you know. But then 2 guys, I'm pretty sure they can use. The 2 guys use the same setup, and the one dude he uses different. I can tell because they use the same microphones. They're using different covers. Like the one guy uses like green or blue covers, and then he has like a different background screen. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, man.
So they must be like doing like that same channel puts out a different type of podcast. You know what I'm saying? So we can do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast space edition here, dog, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. we got Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday and Thursday.
Don't play, man, because that shit will take off. Don't even play, yo.
That's what I'm saying. The niche.
People see that it'll work out. I was like, yo, I gotta hire writers because for me to write alternative scripts, like I could do it. I think I gotta thug it out and do it. But that was a good idea.
Thug it out and do it, dog.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing with this shit.
Thug it out with this nerd shit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, the grind. You ain't gotta be grinding on the streets.
Yeah,
you don't
you're
gotta
right.
be grinding selling crack rocks. You can be grinding making Dungeons Dragon scripts, dog.
I want to be an inspiration to all Americans, yo.
Yo, get out there, write your script, dog. We out here. Either you got a slick Dungeon and James, or you can slang. You can do a podcast. The podcast is a suburban's like rapper hustle, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is like where the average like middle class fucking guy makes it, dog.
Yeah, it's a step up. It's a step up from
fucking rapping. You know, like.
I definitely don't want to rap. I don't even. I sing R&B. That's what I do. Actually, I don't want to sing R&B either because R. Kelly and stuff. But
yeah.
Trey Songz and all the.
I've always loved rapping. I wanted to rap. Like that was my shit.
Oh, for real?
Music.
Okay.
But back in my day, the level was a little bit above average. You feel me? Like to be a writer, you had to write like Eminem or Jay-Z. Like those. Like I'm 36, dog. You know what I'm saying? So like. I remember trying to write raps and freestyle with my boys, but then the level was where I'm like, damn, if I was growing up today, I would have for sure be a rapper, dog. I could fucking run laps around these guys, dog. I think we're gonna have to do it, bro. We got the mics and shit. You know what I'm saying? We out here, and yo, I can rap in my real life. So I can be like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up. All these things. Yo, you see, Little Nas ain't fucking nobody. Little Yeezy, Little Xanax, these guys ain't fighting nobody. I could be like, yo.
I punch you in the face. I punch you in the mouth.
I'll be up here saying jokes. If you don't laugh, then you get choked. That's a bar right there, yo. Jokes and chokes, dog.
And you have the video of you choking out somebody, and they like,
yeah. Yo, Tyrone Woodley's rapping. You know Tyrone Woodley?
Yeah.
Fighter?
He's rapping for real?
Yeah. Well, then he also got knocked dead by Jake Paul. So
stay away from that
rap. That's how you know you made it, dog. I need to get big enough that a YouTuber wants to fight me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a ticket, bro. That's a ticket.
That's the way out of this shit. That's the way out of these suburbs, dog. That's the way out of Kendall, bro.
Ain't no way out, dog. Ain't no way out. Oh, that's hilarious. The fucking Jake Paul and all. Yeah. There's probably some mid kid, like, you could probably talk shit, like, go online every day, like, yo, Jake Paul, you don't know me, man. I'll fuck you.
Yeah,
Mess you up.
He'll fuck me up though. He's too big. He's big. He surpassed
big,
me,
man.
dog. He surpassed me, dog.
He's big.
Knocked out Anderson Silva. The next fight he has, he's gonna be fighting this next guy, Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's brother, but he's like his reject half brother. I don't even think it's the dad's blood, dog. I think it's the mom's blood. It's like you're not even bro. I don't know, dog. It's
He's gonna take
it's light work. This guy Jake Paul's gonna get more famous when he knocks this guy out. It's crazy, yo. I'm out here hating on the guy doing his thing, you know.
I mean, he's putting money in people's pockets, right?
This is where I want to hate, but then like, yo, he's growing the sport and he's getting other boxers that are real boxers and he's putting them on his undercard and he's paying them stupid money. I mean, he'll probably go broke in the process, so let's just ride this wave until it ends. Because this shit can't last much. His last two pay-per-views bombed big, and he was on Showtime Sports and they took him off Showtime. Now they're looking for his next fight is like in 3 weeks, and they're looking for a place.
I think he needs to lose. Like, I think he needs to go big with somebody that can actually fuck him up and then retire.
What is it, one punch?
Yeah, because we want to see like, oh, you really that good? And like, if he can actually win, then he actually, because I think that's the point is like, oh, we're tired of like, it seems he found a formula. And like, I know he beat people, but it's like, and I know they're talented and he won, but it's also like, I'm a little worried. I think people want to see him be like a boxer, like a real boxer.
That's what I'm saying, dog. He's fighting MMA guys past their prime, bro. I've never fought an MMA. I've never even fought an MMA guy that's 39 years old. This guy's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to fight I want to fight a boxer that's 39 going to MMA, dog. Like this guy never even fought. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, dog. You know what I mean? Like That's what's fucked up. Like, he's getting, like, washed up old MMA fighters, then he's beating him in boxing. He's like, yo, and then he calls out, guys, just whatever. I'm trying not to hate. Last podcast.
It's okay. I think he wants us to hate. Yeah. The more we hate, the more he succeeds.
He's a troll, dog. He's a troll.
Yeah,
He's a genius, bro. That's what I need to do, bro. I need to fucking, you know who I think I should troll? Yeah, dog. I could probably troll somebody, like, and just know that I'm trolling him and just be like, nah, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
You can message him. I think messaging him and make it a professional troll. Because I think most people that troll, like online, like the beefs we see in the media are all communicated. Of course it's fake.
Oh, I fucking.
We all eat drama, bro.
Dog.
We all eat drama, and we're all and it's almost like we're almost. Some people are almost smart enough in the normal level to even to be like, you know, doing it. You know, so it's just interesting. It's like.
Yeah, it's good. We love a good train. Remember when we were going? I used to live the real world, you know, when they get into the fights and shit. Like, oh shit, Monica, you know, shoot, next week on the real world, they call the cops. You know, they got a shirt off. They're about to fight. You know what I'm saying?
I look forward to those. Until it's always timed. It feels timed, right? Like there's always that one big fight where the two people leave. But they seem real because the people they choose are clearly narcissists that are like they want to, you know, they love the camera. They'll do anything for to the camera, bro.
In comedy, there's a lot of not saying that I'm not, but I'm not saying that I'm not a narcissist. Probably we're all like, I'm pretty narcissist too, but like. In comedy, you get a lot of narcissists. I'm sure, like that characteristic is probably big. And in show business, I bet you, because you want everybody kind of wants to be like, you know, I don't want to be famous. But you kind of want to be a star, you know, like, yo, so what? If somebody offered you a contract, you want to be like, oh shit, you know, so.
Yeah.
But we get that a lot, dog. You can tell somebody's a narcissist when they're fucking bombing and they still run the light. It's like, dog, how you gonna be bombing and you have so much balls that you want to be here so bad that, you know, that's one I don't understand. You feel me?
Yeah.
I think that's like that's the true definition. You want to think like, wow, what's somebody that doesn't even understand their own perception of what's happening?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
How do you feel about running the light, dog? Doing comedy, going back comedy for a sec, narcissist and shit.
Oh, narcissist running the light.
It's normal. Or you seen? Oh, in New York, do people? What's the scene like in New York? Like you seen veterans do it to people and shit, or like?
People don't really stress it that much. I think. People get irritated. Like I think people get irritated. It's not a big deal. You know, running the light is like, okay, 5 minutes, get the hell off. A lot of people that run the light are like mentally unhealthy. Like, let's say
that's what I'm saying.
Because we give you a lot of because people give you a lot of leeway. Like if I'm running a show and you're like doing it, and let's say you're bombing, like you have to be bombing really bad for me to be like, yo, get off. Like if
sometimes people don't, you're just like, what is going on here, right?
Yeah. So there's some people at the starting off you get it, but like I've seen people will I've seen people bomb and they're like considered really good, but like they just they're bombing and they don't want to get off. And then
Okay,
like
that
me,
makes
but like
sense.
10 plus minutes. And you're like, yo, like I've seen you do well, but today's not your night. And you're going 5 to 10 minutes. I think the older generation, like when you hear like older guys, they would always say that, don't run the light. You gotta have your perfect set, your perfect 5 minutes. But in reality, like nobody's really like that. Like unless you're going past 2 minutes to 3 minutes.
I'm not. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Like past
5
3
minutes.
minutes. Yeah,
I'm talking
5
double.
minutes.
There's-
Okay.
I've seen double ups.
Okay.
I've seen, like,
You've seen double ups? Damn.
I've seen 5 and then like 8, 9, 10. We're like
Pure
yo,
narcissism.
You know what I'm saying,
I agree.
dog? Yeah.
Because some people are like, yo, 3 minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes. It's like, okay, maybe he was finishing a joke
And then
he
they
doesn't
wanna
want
do their other joke or something.
Yeah. Or you would finish a joke and dismount on the joke or whatever. You're searching for something, but like 5 minutes is like you clearly that's a whole other set,
It's crazy, right?
So,
yeah. Or when they go, I just want to finish with this.
It's mental health.
Yo, I feel like that's not. We're not short of that. And two things. Yo, you're a therapist and a jiu-jitsu coach. You can get busy. You get a lot of work in comedy, dog. And one or the other. Like half of these guys need fitness, the other half need mental health.
Yeah.
Therapy, yo.
Therapy in sports is big time too. Therapy, it's big. Yeah.
Yes.
No one talks about sports psychology. I think that's the most interesting thing about sports. And like, I always could read up on someone's like when I watch players play sports, like Kobe mentality. It's like real.
Bro, the Mamba mentality. Dog.
MJ.
Oh my God! Have you ever seen the documentary, The Last Dance?
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah.
When I watched that, I thought I was retired, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fight again. I'm gonna be like MJ. I just got motivated. I'm like, I can do this. I just went to training and just hurting everybody, hurting all my students. Like, what, bitch? My student passed my guard. I fucking knocked him out the next day. Dog. I was like, motivated after that.
You don't do that
dog.
shit.
Motivated, bro. That Last Dance was so good, but that dude's I don't want. But at the end of the day, do you want that guy's a psycho, dog? Do you even want that brain? I want to be like.
But that brain was normal.
Jordan?
No, I'm just saying that brain. I felt like that brain was normal back in the day. I felt like
Jordan was a psycho, dog. He was a monster in a good way, and a psycho in a good way. He's just a demon, dog. I know fighters like that where like they're just unstoppable. You know what I mean? It's admirable, but I don't want it. It's a quality.
It's a sickening quality. You got to be really messed up,
dog,
and like everything in your life got to be messed up.
It's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse. But I think it was the coaching. Like coaches used to instill this kind of like, you gotta do it, get it done no matter what,
Yeah, but Jordan was different with it, dog.
Jordan
would be
Jordan
like,
punched Steve Kerr, bro.
Jordan was crazy.
I know.
He was, like somebody guarded him. He just needed excuses. He needed fight. He needed the drama. He needed like, oh, they don't want me. They hate me.
Yeah. Do you ever watch his Hall of Fame speech? I had to.
Wait, yeah. His Hall of Fame
like,
speech is just talking shit on all the people who I'm spitting all over you. His Hall of Fame sheet is just shitting on everybody who didn't believe in him. He's like, I remember my high school teacher in 9th grade. That bitch said that I was late for my exam. Yo, bitch, remember when I told you my dog ate my homework? Now what? My dog is more richer than you. My dog lives in a better house than you now. He was talking shit to his teachers from middle school, dog.
He was like, call him alone. Yeah, he thought he had something. Whooped his ass. 4 games. Still a bitch. Right there. He's sitting there.
Shut out. Sweet, right out the sweet.
Sweet, yeah. He did that to everybody. I was like, and then they would talk about like PR, like he had such a great PR team. That's why he was the evilest person. But we all thought he'd always be like,
no, don't tell me that.
Yo, he's selling you Space Jam when he's punching motherfuckers. And then he had a gambling. Yo, he's the realest. He did it.
And
in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yo, did you see the knockout? The when they knocked out Draymond Green knocked out the guy, the player.
No.
So Draymond Green knocked out somebody that caught it on the tape. But I'm like, yo, Michael Jordan must have punched and hurt people randomly in games and been protected, like in practice all the time.
Oh yeah, he would for sure, bro.
Because there's only a few that was said.
He got a gangster. Yo, speaking of the gambling, he was a super competitor. Yo, one time he was playing dice with his security guy, like the guy like the door guy, at his building. He's playing dice with the guy, and he beat the guy in dice. They were doing a $10 game, and the guy's like, I ain't got the money. I'll give it back to you. And he's like, nah. He's like, what do you mean you ain't got the money? He was like pissed, and he didn't give a fuck about the fucking price. He's like, yo. He's like, what do you mean you don't got my money? He's like, no. He's like, no. Get my money. And the guy's like, no. He's like, no. It's not fucking $10, bro. And you're talking to a multi-millionaire. You're like, in your head, you're like, what is wrong with this psychopath demon, dog, you know?
Yeah, it's messed up, bro.
He said, I wanted that money because he's like, that was my prize. He's like, that's my proof that I beat him. And he needed it.
Yo. That's
the gift and a curse, dog. I was like, all right, man, no worries, bro.
Even the government lets you go sometimes. You know what I mean?
Not with the money, though. Not with the money,
you know,
dog.
a little, bro. If you made $10 in a year, you know what I mean? They let you keep your $10, man. They don't tax you on the 10.
See,
but Michael Jordan will punch you in the face for $10.
Dog,
Okay.
Jordan wants his prize, dog. He wanted to know that he won. He just got that crazy. Yeah, he was. His dad got murdered, and they were wondering. There's like some conspiracy theories about his dad.
Yeah, that's messed up.
But him and his dad were like, they used to gamble together. They used to be like best friends gambling and shit. I used to be obsessed with gambling, dog. I used to love poker.
Oh,
and
for
shit.
real?
Yes, I was talking to my boy. About
that was that year. There was years when poker was such a big, big time.
When I was like 17, 18, 19, I wanted to go to the World Series, bro. You know what my goal was? I wanted to be a famous poker player, and I wanted to go to the World Series. And when I was on ESPN, I used to dream about it. I wanted to be on ESPN, and I wanted to get a gold teeth. I wanted to get gold teeth with the diamonds, hearts, and clubs and spades.
Oh, word.
That was my thing. And I was always trying about like, yo, I'm gonna be in the final table. Like, yo, look at this fucking Miami fucking motherfucker with gold teeth like this. And I was always gonna be like, bomb, like all the famous like Charles Brunson or dog, but. That shit kicked my ass, bro. That was like the same rush that you get from, because I was talking to my boy about it last podcast. Like, you get that rush from gambling, you know? I think that, like, it's like the same rush from comedy or martial fighting, too, dog, you know?
Yeah, man. It's a gamble when you definitely gambling and you're with someone one-on-one on a table. You hit big or you lose.
I like poker. I like playing poker because you play against the person, you know? There's like a technique.
You like the one-on-one heads up?
Yeah. I could do hit one-on-one, but like winning a tournament, like winning a game.
Yeah, that's dope.
Like with like 10 people.
Yeah, it's so fun, man.
I love that shit. You get everybody together, put some money together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a fun good time.
You know how to play poker?
I played at the time when it was popular.
Yeah.
I was never good. I had a friend, my roommate, he was I don't want to
grind, right?
He used to grind, but he used to have online on the side sites. And he used to grind. He used to do like dollar games. He had found a formula where he'd be aggressive dollar games, but have like $10
and had like $10 dollar.
Yeah,
10
were you
games.
like that?
Yeah. Well, the online kicked my ass. I was more of a purist, you know. I used to go to games, and back then in Miami, there was no limit in poker in Miami. Meaning there was only limit poker. So like in Miami, if you want to play poker and you go to a casino, it was a 1-2, meaning like 1-2 capped at 8. Like the bet cannot get more than $8, and you couldn't bluff. It kind of sucked.
Yeah, damn.
But
okay.
at that time, there was a lot of house games, and house games were big, bro. Like you know a guy, and he'll take you to it was like an underworld. Of
oh
poker,
shit!
dog.
Oh, word.
Yo, I've gone to poker games. Like you be playing at a game like in Kendall, right? At like some random fucking complex. Playing some guy's house. The game ends at 5 a.m. Everybody's like, yo, everybody wants to keep playing. They're like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna call my boy. He calls this. You go to another game, it's like a fucking movie, dog. I'll go to these games where they'll be like in Little Havana, like in a ballroom where they do like quinceañera stuff.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a banquet ballroom where they do weddings and shit. And like, I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, yo, the game is here. Like, yeah, like open the fence. And like, you call the guy, they open the fence, you park. You knock 3 times, the guy opens the door, looks at you, brings you in the elevator, and then you go up, and then there's just like fucking 3 tables there, and like dealers, and it's mad grimy, dog. Like, I'm motherfucking doing coke in the bathroom, like,
shit,
like,
bro.
Like, it was like just like a poker, it was like a gambling.
Yeah, like the gambling energy, people smoking cigarettes indoors and shit.
Have you ever seen Rounders?
No, I haven't.
It's like that movie Rounders. There's a few places I've been to in Miami, but this is before the casinos opened up. Then when the casinos opened up, everybody just went to the casinos.
Yeah, okay.
So you can play at Mikasuki like 1, 2, 2, 5.
I played once at Mikasuki. I made like $10, and I was like, I just faded.
Deuces. You know what I mean? Yes,
you forget. I going to New York, I definitely forgot that I was just about having fun.
Because in New York, I bet you, bro. I feel like bro. The comedians that I met from New York, they're like, I haven't met no killers yet, so I'm not gonna be like talking shit about New York, but like. I met like some of these guys that they come through like, oh, I'm from New York, and like they ain't really coming with nothing crazy, but they seem a little bit uptight, dog, a little uptighty. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you uptight, man. It gets uptight, man. It's cold.
Over there, right?
It's cold. People always depressed. You know, that's the thing. It's everyone. Depression is cool.
Bro,
even like here, I'm depressed at times, but like in Miami was just like Miami don't have fun. You know, that's what like happened when New York was like. I'm not saying New Yorkers have fun, but like you go out to a party and people are like, oh my god, like the world's ending, global climate, and you're like, oh, like let me have a drink. It got to a point, and there's no one that's fighting against it. Like you talk against not being like you're saying, hey, I'm just trying to cool off and chill. Like you're the enemy of the state. Like you are the problem. So people, that would be the norm, bro. You'd be like, yo, I just want to talk shit. I just want to eat shit, dog. Like talk shit. Just like have fun, and you just like, and you can't really get to that level with people because they're just so serious and they don't want it. They just like, why are you so happy? Why are you this? Like people used to go to me like, why are you so happy? I'm like, because I'm allowed to be happy, man.
I did a podcast with a recent episode. Yeah, I had a friend once. She's like, wait, like, why? I don't understand people just walking around the world so jolly. I was like, yo, because we're all gonna fucking die regardless. Whether the climate is ending, whether whoever's in office, like, yo, we're all gonna die. So you might as well just enjoy the ride, yo.
Exactly.
Whether it's bad or good. Like, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers in war used to go to war and laugh and have a good old time. You know what I'm saying? Bro. So what are you on about? You know what I mean? Like that, right? Like,
yeah, you got to say something about someone with no humor, no humility or humor. Like you can have a bad day, but like if you don't, like there's literal people that don't understand humor or why someone would say something to like comfort some shit that went on or just ignore some shit. And like, you know, and that took me a while because I'd be caught as you have to almost enter that zone because you're in the you're in a city and you're alone. You know what I mean? You're not. Nobody's really. No one's really iterate. Like nobody's bouncing off like positive energy to you. You know, so you gotta just kind of like. I just remember this. Yo, yeah, my first year I'll be turning. It's just like it just kind of killed just having fun. I remember listening to a podcast. I was like, oh man, I must have gotten a lot better, you know. And I listened to a podcast when I first started. I was like, yo, I sounded so much funny. Like I was having so much fun. I was more off the cuff. I was more having fun. And now it's just like, New York. But
from a podcast you did before you went to New York.
Yeah. I was just looking like, oh, like how was I before? Like how was I vibing before this? So I was like, like I came today. I was like, let me try to have fun because I listened to other podcasts. I was like very serious. Like so I just. And I was like, no, man, just have fun, man. Like, you did this because you wanted to get outside, express yourself, and have fun. That's exactly. I did comedy. That was my first. It wasn't to make it. I was just like, I am a guy who makes Dungeons and Dragons in space. And I need to meet some people outside, man, because I'm inside all the time. And it was a good way. It was like, people don't know. I used to close my eyes on stage. I used to be so afraid. And people used to be like, oh, you think you're so cocky? Like, you're so cool? You just close your eyes on the stage. I'm like, no, I'm legitimately scared to look people in the fucking eyes.
That's amazing, yo.
So people would say that, be like, oh, you're so cocky, like you're making people laugh. And I'd be like, I can't, I don't want to look them in the eyes, please.
It's like, yeah, you think I'm cocky? They don't know. I'm just afraid of you because I fucking...
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I might like, so maybe people just think, oh, it's so easy. Or it's like, I'm like, nah, like the growth is, So yeah, it's very interesting. My lady
growth, dog, it's amazing though. You have the courage to get on stage and fight that because it's like, it's so... the way you're making it sound though, it's like almost like opposite of your personality, dog. And then you get on stage and fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to be goofy and physical, I love being goofy and physical. I like Charlie Chaplin. I like comedic acting. I really want to get into that. Stand up was later on. Stand up for me was just a good way to do it. Like get it. When I was in New York, I got to a play. They made me play.
Nice,
I was an autistic neurosurgeon. I played an autistic person.
You have mad lines or what?
Autistic people don't have autistic people don't have great lines, sir.
I was just a really good surgeon.
We need to change this. We need to be on top of the. We need to be the main characters. I was a real dumbass, so I think I low key feel like they were trying me, but I was like, let me have fun.
It's like, yo, mom, I got a role. What are you? I'm an autistic doctor. Like, you know what I mean? Mom's like, are you fucking with me right now?
Good doctor. The TV show, The Good Doctor.
It's a good.
Yeah.
So I got that.
Damn, you got paid for that? You got money for
like maybe $50, yeah. But
wait, how long? Was it a play or?
It was a play and it ran a few times. It wasn't like a Broadway, but like it was a play that did very well. It did well in the city. It got a lot of respect, but it wasn't it was just a good way for me to be seen.
Oh my God, yeah, you did like a play in New York. That's some,
Yeah, it
that's
popped-
some artsy
it-
fart. That's some like, that's next level, dog.
Yeah, so it popped
Woo.
off. It popped off, and then it was funny because like I actually got laid from that role.
That's all she wrote. Hey,
That's what I say. That's all
it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's money in the bank, baby. You
Yeah, man. We were like, yo, you didn't think I could pull that off, man.
Hey. Autistic doctor got some fucking pimp skills, dog.
Well, when I started comedy, I was I also did a film. I did a rom-com, a short film. I'm in a rom-com. I thought it was good. Most of my hater friends in Miami would tell me like, yo, we hate everything you do. You know what I'm saying? So, but it actually hit me. Yeah. But they hit me up. They're like, yo. Man, you were pretty good, man. I wanted to hate you, but you know.
How long was the film?
It was like a 30. It was a short film.
Yo,
But I was like the main character. I was like, yeah. So it went well. It did all right. It wasn't like, it was just a short film. My friend Laura made. She killed it. We were both like awkward people when we met. She was from Boston, and so we just became friends. So she was like, oh, let's do a rom-com together. So she wrote it and directed it, and I had me as the main character.
What was the plot, yo?
She was on house arrest, and
love it. This is
and then
great.
I was a task. I was like a delivery task rabbit type of person.
Is it a rom-com or a porn? Like, oh,
Don't
shit.
talk about that, man.
That's your other rom-com.
No. Nah, it went well. I did a little projects. I found that most fun. So for me, I guess I could say like in my heart, I see a lot of people. I'm supportive of people do stand up, but like stand up for me. There's some people, I might get. It's just like I'm trying to get back into it because there's nothing funner better than it. But I also want to definitely do other stuff because I used to do improv comedy too.
Where can you do improv comedy in Miami?
I would say I was just the funny villain and just the funny. Yeah.
I've only been a villain once, yo. I haven't gone really put that place too much. You know what I'm saying? But just the funny's dope, dog.
Just the funny's dope. I like just funny.
That's
That's
that
the
place
spot.
has a lot of potential, dog. Bro, you fucking. That's like the people are really close to. I don't like when they're that close to me, honestly. You know what I do like about the Miami? I don't know. Comedy clubs are really close to you like that, right? Just the Funny has a comedy club feel, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're right there, bro. Where you can fill that place up with 20 people, and those laughs are crazy loud. They echo and they're hard, dog.
Yeah, just the funnies. Yeah, I like that space. I like the spot. I like David Christopher does a great job. Like if you trying to take improv classes, this is great.
I'm gonna take some improv classes. I like that shit. I would get in there and just be all crazy and shit. Dog.
Yeah,
Get in there, you know?
it's good. It's good because when you start playing like with other people and you're just running around and you're doing it, like you're actually just creating sketches without thinking. But like with me, and then it becomes automatic. You know, like, because you're going to think a lot, but then there's going to be a point, you're seeing part and da-da-da. And you're just going to be making ideas, like, da-da-da-da, like, in conversation without really thinking, and you're going to do it, like, in a way that's, like, very thoughtful, and it's, like, interesting. It's a great way to build, like, warm your creativity. So I'm a big fan of, I want to get back into it, because I was so fun when I did it. It was so fun. It was legitimately, and you're not by yourself.
Get some girls. I'll probably some girls in there too. Ain't no girls in comedy, dog.
There's no girls in comedy. Yeah,
not too much. There's a few. Girls are funny. They're hilarious. Just kidding.
Oh no, I wasn't hating on girls. I meant girls in comedy.
Yeah, but they're few and far between.
No, New York, man. There's some killer girl comments that I'll be like, damn, I gotta follow this. Yeah, man. Yeah, that came out of my mouth. Like, that started coming out of my mouth when I came to New York. I saw so many funny girl comments. Sorry about the Miami comments. There's some funny Miami girl comedians, but they exist. But it's just New York. You just have some like serious heavy hitters. Like people I started out with, I'm like, you can't. It's hard. You can't follow that. They're just as brash as you. They go hard in the paint. It's just
oh man.
Yeah, they exist, and you follow, and you're like, fuck, man, like.
That's what's true, right? A lot of guys, they'd be like, they're talking a lot of shit, but then they don't want to follow a fucking beast girl, dog. Ooh, I never thought about that, yo.
Yeah.
And there's some killers out there, dog, for sure. It's gotta be hard to be a girl and be a comedian, because I could see, like, for the crowd, even me when I was younger, I was like, I've gone to comedy shows and see the girl, I'm like, kind of, so I don't want to, like, I can understand for them, it's gotta be tough, dog.
Yeah, it's a male field.
Yeah.
I try to be understanding, because sometimes they would have more they would have more of these mics that were like female friendly or whatever, and like some people get mad, but I'm like, they need an outlet to feel comfortable too. Like, yeah, you always gotta understand, like, you're in a room of 20 dudes.
It's gotta be crazy, dog.
It's gotta be uncomfortable.
That's
And you're the
weird,
smallest.
yo.
You're the smallest one, and then dudes are not. No one's saying non-brass shit. Like, we're talking shit. We're saying what we want to say, and then they're probably like, "Oh, damn, they don't even like women," or they probably, oh, "I hate women." You know, they're probably saying you're at an open mic. You're at an open mic. They're probably saying that shit, right? It's incel behavior. It's been around. So yeah, you get. I was like, yeah. The more I did the more I was like, yeah, I understand why you'd want to have your own setting to like stop.
100%. And then like to spit their game or whatever, it's good, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're funny, you're funny, dog. That shit transcends.
At the end of the day, yeah,
people
you're funny.
People say you're funny, but like, yo, one of my favorite comedians is a girl. Oh man, I'm blanking out really bad today. The Asian girl, dog.
I'm watching a special Ali Wong.
She's one of my favorite comedians.
Yo, she's so good.
Her last special was funny, but I think she did them both pregnant. But the first one she did pregnant with Baby Cobra, dog, that was the most funny. That was one of the funniest stand-ups I've seen. I still remember it. The Baby Cobra was so funny, dog. And at that time, I had an Asian girlfriend who was like same age as her. So I was like, bro, that shit transcended to me hard because when she was talking, it was basically like my girlfriend was doing stand-up to me. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, dog. It was crazy.
She
You
was
feel me?
funny,
Like I
man.
related a lot hard. So like, she's hilarious, dog. And
Yeah,
she's like and I heard she's like a machine with it too, like getting her jokes. Bam, bam. She's a lot of jokes, dog. Boom.
Yeah, she's good. She's funny. She's brash. She's Ali Wong could get it. Yeah, she's funny. She's funny.
Funny, yo. Hey, what I was gonna tell you, one thing I wanted to hit up on you. Oh, crowd work, Doug. I didn't know this, right? So when I first started doing comedy, I never did crowd work, right? And then I would start a little bit. I was just trying to do my set, and then sometimes if there's like an Asian, if there's something I could relate to in my life, I would talk to the people, you know. But then I stopped doing, and then I started doing crowd work. But then I started having some good crowd work sets, and then it became like addicting. And then I started doing a lot of crowd work, and then I noticed I wasn't really improving my set. So it goes through waves for me. But then I noticed some comedians don't like crowd work. Have you heard this before? Like, what's your theory on crowd work? I've met people who be like, oh, crowd work's when you don't have no jokes. And then there's some people who live on that shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? Because I don't know, bro. What do you think? Like, I think it's pretty hard, bro, to go out there, balls to the wall, free balling, and just fuck with the crowd and get them involved.
You got to do you, man.
You got to do, like we were saying before.
Because I do it all the time. At certain points, let's say I have to go with the flow of my life. You know, let's say I'm not writing or I'm working all the time. I'm gonna have my set. I'm gonna have a good like 5 to 8 minutes, but I'm gonna be sprinkled with crowd work. Is it me covering up the fact that maybe it is, but maybe I'm just trying to make these five. And then what happens is these 5-minute jokes get stronger because it's like intertwining with the fact that I'm having this conversation. Maybe I'm learning how to create the conversation before I enter a joke. You know, some people can't do crowd work. You know, they're scared to conversate.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, dog.
So then you get these haters, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a fine line between like, are you a hater of crowd work because you can't do it, or do you really think it means you're a weak comic? It's like, wait a second, you know, like it's a fine line, like you were saying.
It's a fine line, and it's what you want to do. It's what you want to. It's literally what you want to do. And Miami crowds want you to talk to them.
They love it.
But if you're trying to build let's say you're trying to build a 10-minute set, okay, but then you gotta kind of.
It does affect your set. That's for sure. Like I said, I got addicted to it. Like once I found a little catch in crowd work, and I had like a couple go-to jokes that I can ask any person. Like I kind of knew what they were gonna answer, and I'm like, oh damn, this is good, dog. You know.
Well, don't stop because look who honestly the best stand-ups have that style.
Schultz right now. Who else?
Schultz, Aaron Berg.
Aaron Berg. Aaron Berg, dog. They would get on stage and just like the last 20 minutes of their set, they just fucking rip on the crowd, and it's just fuck. Yo, I seen Big J Okerson at the Miami Improv. He did an hour 40 or whatever their improv set. Crowd work, all crowd work.
Yeah, crowd work jokes. Like there's definitely jokes. Like because you were there, you hear.
They don't know. You know
you
what I'm
hear,
saying?
But that style is not. It's some of the best. Like the best stand-ups. Like the best people that like go out on a stage and just kill for a crowd and maybe don't have a career in TV or that. They have that style, so it's not a bad idea because most people like conversation. At the end of the day, you still have to impress a person that really wants you to talk to them, you know. So both styles work. Some people want to see, like maybe if you work in a theater, some people want to see you deliver your artwork, your set.
Yes, right.
Your beautiful circular motion of thought, and like, hey, we're gonna bring it back to this point in point
With
A.
the callbacks. Yeah,
But you're at a club, man. They're like, yo, man, I paid 2 drink minimum. Yo, tell me something crazy. I had a rough work week, man. I paid like $100. I want you to talk crazy to me. I want you to make me feel part of this interaction. That, honestly, that's some of the best styles. And it takes the longest to kind of perfect it. So when you see these guys, like, you know, J.O. these guys 20, they really been putting in the work. They really put in the work.
They got tools, bro. You could just see they got laser sharp swords, dog. You could just tell they're just whipping them out with the crowd work, you know.
Yeah,
and they can go into bits. Oh, it's crazy, dog.
Yeah. So
when you see them do the same. Oh, I'm sure. Did you see this when you would open for comedy clubs? You would see you see a lot of headliners after you, right? And you're like, damn. You see them like how they cut the how they cook the grill, they cook the steak a different way every show, right? It's like, oh damn, you hear the same joke but a different part of the set, or like the guy's like 30 minutes in and he hasn't used that joke yet.
Yeah. But you run into every type of person. You run into the guy that's like, well, I haven't changed myself in 19 years and I don't get why you would try anything new. And there's people like that. They'll be like, no, just get rid of everything, and you know, they'll stay with that set and learn how to do it until you get applause break every 5 minutes. And you know, and then there's people that are like, you know, live your life, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's your set. You got to own up to you as a person. You got to stand up and deliver your shit. This, you know, at the end of the day. So, crowd work's fun, but like if you can get good at crowd work and mix it in with jokes, that style, you've seen comics that kill with that style. It's a very, and I think it's very genuine to the art form, you know.
You're like, because it's like, it's a mix of, like you're saying, improv and comedy jokes.
Yeah, and that can't be boring. That has to be the most funnest way to live, because you have jokes, but you're also like you're in the pit with the people.
Yeah, you can go on a wave with the people, but if it gets crazy, you just go back to your jokes.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way I'm gonna I'm gonna try to do like my 5, and then I just try to jump in the crowd. And if they're not feeling me, then I'll jump back out. You know what I'm saying?
Have fun, man. You got other people like that is, I would say, what's his name? He's very like, I forgot. He does these pieces. It's almost like a one-man show. I forgot his name. It's not Nate Bargatze. It's he's very liberal, but like it's just like it's like an artwork, like Neil Brennan style.
I was gonna say, is it Neil Brennan Blocks? That was fucking good. That Blocks one, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that one, man.
Dog. Holy shit!
I love the concept of him telling a short story that's sad, of his depression, and then he had a 5-minute set, and then 5 minutes of one-liners, and then 5 minutes of his. And that's an artwork, and that's the thing also with the one-man show and stand-up. You could do anything you want. Like Mike Tyson, to me, had one of the best live shows. That live show he did was like better than any stand, because his life is so interesting, the stories in the background, and he delivered it. So it's just like whatever you want from this thing, you could do, man.
Yeah, well, I saw, I was in rehab when I was like 16, 17, and I was like, I got in trouble and shit. I was in this rehab for like 9 months, but they used to take us on field trips.
Word, okay.
And we did a field trip, when we did a one-man show. They took us to the Coconut Grove Improv, and I saw a one-man show called Addicted, and it was the greatest show I ever seen in my life. It was a guy telling his story, I guess, about whatever his addictions were, and it was like talking about like his drug addict past. And it was the coolest thing I've ever seen, dog. So it's kind of funny. Like even back then, the seed was planted with that shit.
Oh wow!
Like seeing that guy perform, and then when I was doing that, I would go to like these. When I got out of that rehab, I was like going to meetings, and I used to go share and shit, and speak to like juvenile halls and shit. It's like kind of like a character. I was like kind of like in that scene, dog. Like trying to help people. I was like a counselor, like helping people and shit.
That's what's up, man.
When I was like a young kid, I was like 17, 18 when I got my shit together, you know. And then I used to do a lot of public speaking like that. I didn't even realize it until now. I always wondered, like, what the fuck did I do all that stupid shit for? Where I used to, like, speak to people, like you say, your experience, strength, and hope. And you share your story. But I used to make people crack up, dog. I used to have, like, little one-liners that I still do sometimes.
Okay, all right.
I have some jokes I still do from when I was a kid. And I used to go to these, like, jails. And, like, I used to go to, like, these rehabs and jails and talk to these kids. And they didn't want to hear you. Like, what the fuck, you know? I just tell them some wild stories.
No, that's what's up, man. You've been out there, bro. That's good.
I didn't realize it, but yeah, I was like, oh shit, that was like, I took a 10-year break from that when I started fighting and shit, you know, but it's crazy.
You got life experience, dog. That's what's up.
It all rolls back. Yo, homie, we were fucking rolling for 2 hours flat, and I'm just
right.
started, dog.
However you want it.
This is fucking crazy, yo. My man, I was, hey, look, this is the jiu-jitsu.
My bad, I'm
I gotta show you. So like, oh yeah, when you go to class, you go like this. You go 1, 2.
Okay.
So when you go to the gym tomorrow, that's how they do in the MMA. Dog, you ready? Like, learn something new every day.
Thank you. Because I've been like,
You see somebody like hit him with the shake hands. Like, nah, it's either bam, bam. Yo, so what do you got? How much time you got right now? You think you got bagged in the book of like stand-up material that like somebody wants to do it? Somebody wants to do a headline. You can fucking.
Headline. Back in the day I had 30.
30 minutes. Yeah, like.
Back in the day I had 30, but like. Yeah, pretty tight, but I didn't get to practice it that much because like, who's gonna? I wasn't featuring anywhere. I put a show out in Yo Space about like 5 years ago, and it went well.
MySpace or yours?
It was called Yo Space.
It is called. I got this wrong.
Yeah, Yo Miami, Yo Space. So I had a little.
Yo Miami.
Yeah, I threw like a headlining show. So I did 30 minutes. But a lot of it is like my thing is, what is my direction as far as like, to me, I want to do like a 20-minute set and put it on YouTube. Yeah. Because for me, I'm like, okay, like I'm not getting an hour. If I create an hour, is Netflix going to pick it up? No. But I could think like that.
An hour on YouTube.
An hour on YouTube.
Doing YouTube, dog. You seen, Danny Fallon?
No, I don't know Danny Fallon.
He's a comedian. I don't know him, but I saw his comedy. Yo, his special's doing really well on YouTube. It had like 10, 15K. Like the
I want to do it. I want to do a 20 minutes. I want to do a 20-minute YouTube one because I think the hour. I'm not. My body. Someone needs to take me on the road for me to feel. Because it's a different muscle doing bar shows. That's my thing. It's like I could do a 10-minute set, but there's something about our bar show that's like. An hour set in front of a club, like doing what Aaron Berg does is like the 10-minute keeps you tight, but you like it's a different muscle doing 30 minutes. Yeah, man. But it's the same as fighting too, or fighting and running. It's like okay,
you gotta pace yourself.
You gotta pace yourself.
Can't be coming out there with all your best jokes. And you're like, oh shit. 27 minutes and 32 seconds left. And I just told you my finisher, my opener, and my mid.
Well, you got to put it in cruise control. Yeah. Exactly. So you got control. You got them to like you. Then you put it on cruise control. That's where you start seeing people tell stories about their lives, tell them what's going on. But like when you go to a bar show, you can't really get that in depth of where you can, but it's more like you got to just get them to like you. Like, hey, what it's like, hey, you're in a bar, man. Like, what your girl you got a drink, this and that. So I wasn't sure how long you went.
That's what I realized when you do a lot of open mics, right? Then if somebody gives you an opportunity to do like a 10, 15 minute set, you're like, oh, whoa. It's a big difference, bro. And there's crazy waves. 5 and 10 is a big difference. 10 and 15 is a big difference, dog. So to get to that 20 mark, it's like, you got to be able to get that. I guess you got to do 2 shows a night and do 2 different 10-minute sets, huh? To build that 20, because it's hard to get the time to do that everywhere, right?
Yeah, you got to think about. I think the 5 minutes is a great. I think a 5 minutes is a great for you to start out. Like that's your first goal. At least when I start out, everyone's like, get your type 5. Yeah. Because if you get up on a set, someone asks you a guest spot, they're gonna ask you for the type 5. The 10-minute, you can kind of get into some stories of yourself. And the bar show, you get 10 minutes, but you're still in a bar. Remember that.
War, dog. Yeah, that's another thing.
You said a bar. They're like, do they want to fucking know you? No, they want to hear you say some wild shit.
Yeah, you're so right, bro. Because now that I'm working at the Comedy Inn, I'm like, bro, this is what I thought comedy was. But then if you do fucking 6 months of bar shows, you forget you almost don't know what comedy is anymore, dog. You're just trying to make these animals laugh at the bars where it's like,
yeah.
Oh no, my good jokes were good, because then when I see people in the comedy club, I'm like, I have jokes like that, but the bar, they just look at you like this. Like, I don't know, it's weird, dog.
No, exactly.
It's wild, dog.
So your venue means a lot. Your venue means a lot. A theater show is way different than a bar show. A club is way different than a bar show. So your energy. You want to train yourself at different energies, but like you also got to be various. Like, for me, it's like sometimes people be impressed, like, oh, you made 3 people laugh, but then like you add 40, 50 people, and I'm like, oh shit, fuck. I'm like, oh, and then sometimes I get used to the 40, 50 people, and then it's like 5 people, and it's like, God, this is scary, and then like everything just becomes like, so you just got to get used to it. But yeah, man, you gotta just, it's really about sticking with the process. And not letting your ego take over. If you really love stand up, you could be questioning what you want. If you have a goal, you set your goal. I want to build a 30-minute set. Then everything else has to have its purpose in building the set. So that's your process. You know, so everything is, you know, you don't detour. So I'm gonna write a minute and a half of something, jokes a week. That's my minute and a half. I'm gonna open my see it. Okay, throw it off. I'm gonna try to bring it back. Da da da. So you're building that 30 minutes. As long as you're methodical with it, your 30 minutes will grow. And you're not trying to build an hour or impress other people. You're just doing this 30 minutes. It's not about I
got you. Oh man, that would give your focus way better. Because then you don't give a fuck about the people in the crowd. You're just trying to get that.
Exactly.
That will change everything. That's when you look at it like the work, and that's when you can minimize the bombing and the doing good because you're just more focused on saying the.
Because you have a goal in mind.
Wow.
Your goal in mind is that
my brain's firing up like.
Yeah, you have a goal in mind because that's the reality. It's like you don't want to be wonderless. It's not about work. It's like, okay, you go work the hardest, but you're not. Let's say you're a guy running on the treadmill, but you have no. And then you're lifting weights, and you're like, what's your purpose? It's like,
don't have a plan.
You don't have a plan.
To fail.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. You know, so if you're starting out, like, yeah, get your type 5, like, but then you're building it. You're just building on it. You get 10 to 15, 15 to 20 is your feature set.
There you go.
Featuring is not bad. Featuring, you get a lot more respect than a host. Hosting teaches you that, like, if you have good energy, that goes a long way. Like, with a crowd, you know. Feature, you could bet to be yourself. If you're a depressed guy and you're like, I hate everybody, and the crowd will just, that's you.
They'll accept it.
They'll accept it because you're the feature.
They don't want to see that guy come back.
Yeah.
This depressed motherfucker, man. We liked you for 10, 15. Now get out of here. Bring us the happy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
3 minutes.
All right. Yo, my dog. We can keep going, but we're literally about to run out of time on our damn SD card.
Man. That was fun,
PJ,
man.
that was fun. This is just gonna have to be part 1.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on. I just fucked up your microphone.
Nah, you good,
Hey,
man.
so what do you got? You got any shows coming up or anybody?
I got Bay Club on Monday. Bay Club on Monday.
Where's that? I never heard about this.
Alex Maurizio and Will Lopez, they threw it. They like comedians at my time. They're funny.
Where's that?
In South Beach.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Oh,
so
nice. How long you doing?
I'm doing like 10 minutes.
Nice, bro. They
So
got a
it should be-
headliner or are you headlining?
Nah, Freddie Stevens is headlining.
Oh, I seen the flyer for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the man. I gotta get him. Yo, when you see him tomorrow, be like, yo, Emilo wants to see you, dog. I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, I'll let him know,
Let him know.
man.
I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up after this. I gotta remember. I got some good comedians coming up in the limelight, dog. So
Okay.
damn. So you got tomorrow, Miami Beach, the Bay Club. This will
Yeah,
be
I think I got the Clevelander on Tuesday. I got Albie's show at Lincoln Beards on Thursday.
I'll be there next week.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking getting booked, baby. Hell
Yeah, man. That's good. No, definitely get your don't be afraid out here, man.
Oh, you were talking about that last time. God damn, we did do another 2 hours. We were talking about the Eddies the other day. I forget what we were getting.
You gotta understand that some people aren't gonna book you. Don't blow up, man. You know, but like you always gotta shoot your shot and closed mouths don't get fed. So even I'm the same way. I'm the same way, bro. I don't make the
closed mouth don't get fed.
Yep.
That's
and
a good way to close
my
this.
mouth is very closed, so
There you go.
I'm not eating. You see this? No, I'm kidding.
All right, yo, thank you very much for the pot, man. We're about to close this bitch out. Ladies and gentlemen, Honey Badger Hour, episode 70. We're out.